On it, man.
Christian Ellis is not there yet. You know, he had good camps, but he's not there yet, bro.
I would
Like
disagree.
I can see Miles Jack. I can say no. I can see Miles Jack, and I can see N'Kobe Dean. I just think that N'Kobe Dean, his injury is more serious than they thought, and this is why we got reinforcements. But
I
I
would
don't
disagree.
see Christian.
It's
Christian
interesting
Ellis
because
is
they said
ready
it
to
looked
rock and
good
roll.
today, right? Marcus, what did they say about today? Didn't they say it looked good today? The
Yeah.
Christian Ellis and Jack tandem.
Listen, Christian Ellis is my dark horse. He's the guy that's going to ball this year that nobody's talking about. Me and Barrett Brooks talked about that. I don't know if you saw my video. We talked about that like
Yeah, I
3 or
did.
4 weeks ago. Christian Ellis, man, like I guess people just don't realize that's a Polynesian kid, man. He got that streak in him. So, and he's been solid. So now he's at the point right now where he's getting his opportunity to get some snaps in, and I think he's going to make the most of it. So,
But to tell me I came out with DeAndre Swift over Bijan,
where Jordan Davis just, still play the same.
Yo.
What's good, DV? How you feeling, bro?
Good, Miss Ash. I see you in the comments already. Your shirt is on its way. I mailed it out today. It should be there by Friday. I'm sorry for the hiatus, but at the same time, a lot of things going on. You see, it was my son's birthday. He shared the same birthday as Jalen Hurts, so I had to, treat him. But at the same time, the shirt is on the way. But what's going on with everybody?
Everything good, man. It's another episode of Inside the Nest. Me and my co-host King Dv. We have a special guest, man. Tonight we have Eagles royalty in the building. Y'all say what's up to my boy Marcus of Pro Fan Talk and Pro Fan Podcast. Don't get it twisted and don't get it misconstrued. It's two different things.
Yeah, we got two different things. The Pro Fan Podcast is my personal channel on YouTube. And then every Thursday, I got to go to the mothership, A2D Radio. Them guys have been treating me nice. Been with them for almost a year. Philly-based boys, man. Having a good time, just talking sports. Ready to get this season started.
With that being said, man, the season is right amongst us, man. It's right around the corner. We got our first preseason game Saturday. What do you guys expect to see Saturday? I don't think any of the starters will be playing. So out of the young guys, what do you expect, and who you looking at?
Go first.
Right now, I would say, the guys that I want to see Christian Ellis play, because like we were talking about before we got on, Christian Ellis is my dark horse, so I want to see him get some snaps. Obviously, I want to see Cunningham and Miles Jack. Miles Jack was a baller in Jacksonville. He was actually the captain of that team. So I know he can ball. Cunningham, I got question marks because he's coming off of IR, so I'm not sure what the deal is with him. But I want to see in there. I want to see him ball out. I want to see. I'm curious as if they're going to play Quez at number 3, but I want to see Zacchaeus and some of the other. I want to see what Devin Allen is going to do if he's going to play. I heard a report. I don't know, was it today or yesterday that said Britton Covey has been looking good at wide receiver.
That was today. He caught a 30-yard bomb from Mariota for a touchdown.
But the big thing that nobody's talking about, and maybe we'll see a little bit of it, I want to see what our special teams is going to do, because people just tend to brush that to the side. Our special teams was god awful last year. So I am hoping Britton Covey is better than he was last year. He got better towards the end of the year last year. So I'm hoping he can continue that. I don't see no reason why he shouldn't. And I want to see what these young cats do on our defensive line, the Georgia boys and Greedy. I want to see Greedy Williams get in there. He has been suspect at best. He hasn't made anything happen for somebody at his stature. I'd expect him to be a little bit better. Moreau, the other linebacker, he might be a casualty. To me, he's on the bubble. So, especially with them bringing Jack and Cunningham, he might end up being a special teams guy, or he might end up getting cut. So, it's a lot that can go on, man. I just like to see a lot of the young guys. The two guys that I really wanted to see, both of them are hurt. Charleston Rambo ended up getting cut because me being a veteran of the World League, I want to see them guys from the XFL and the USFL get a shot. Both of them gone. Well, Deion Kane, he's hurt, so he's probably not going to play much. And I think they just cut Charleston Rambo. I'm not sure if he cleared waivers, because I figured they would bring him back and put him on practice squad or something like that.
Squad, yeah.
Yeah, but I want to see the young guys get it. I just want to see our guys hit people in different color jerseys. We get so caught up in practice and OTAs and things of that nature that you got to understand when you're in camp, you get to a point where you've seen everything, so you can kind of anticipate. So you really need to see somebody else in another uniform that doesn't know anything about you or what y'all doing. Even though the offenses and defenses are still going to be very vanilla, they're not showing anything in preseason. But you just want to see some guys lock up. I want to see Jalen Carter against a real center, and I want to see what Jordan Davis looks like coming off the ball against an opponent, and see really where we are and gauge what kind of people we got on our squad.
I'm going to take a different approach. I'm looking at Terrell Edmonds. I'm looking at Sidney Brown. I'm looking at those guys to play in against the Ravens. I'm looking forward to our weaknesses. You know, the safety position, linebacker position, of course. Regardless if we got Miles Jack and Zach Cunningham now, I want to see that. And I also want to see Mariota. You know, I want to see him. You know, they said he had one of his better practices today, and also at open practice. Not to probably the normal fan liking, but anybody that knows football, yeah, you know that he had a decent practice at open practice and today. So I want to see those three aspects. I know the running back is a big must because I really believe that Nick Sirianni, Harry Roseman, and those guys were looking at like the Super Bowl run, also the playoff run, whereas though like yes, Gainwell was our best running back. But at the same time, he didn't really do too much to make a difference. You know, it was our defense that actually, you know, got us the short yardage that basically stopped the opposing offenses. You know, so, you know, with the running back, the switch ups and everything, I really believe that is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for who's going to be the fourth guy, because I already know the top three guys is already locked. Kenny Gainwell, not Kenny Gainwell. Boston Scott is already like a kick returner. He's on special teams. He's going to be on special teams, either a kick returner or a punt returner. I want to see what happens with a Trey Sermon. You know, I want to see how hungry he is. I want to see Kennedy Brooks. I want to see how hungry he is. You know, when he get that time to showcase his talent on
the roster?
Huh?
Kennedy Brooks still on the roster?
Yeah, he is. He was at the open practice. When I was there and I was recording, he was at the open practice.
I ain't heard that man name since all season last year. I thought he was for sure out of here.
Okay, right? No, he's still on the roster, bro.
So
he's still on the roster.
That means we got six.
Because he was when he had
back,
right? He had like 5 or 6. Yeah,
he's still on the website.
Yeah, he's still on the roster, bro.
Dang.
Now I don't know if he's going to make the practice squad. I don't know what's going to happen, but he's still on the roster. They gave him some carries in the open practice. With DeAndre Swift, you know, I don't know if he's going to play. I do think, like I said on Birds of Broad Street on Monday, I do think that the starters, especially after today, they didn't really have a great camp starting offense. I really think they play at least one drive. After that, I think it's going to be second and third team all the way. So I'm just looking to see who's hungry to make the 53-man roster.
Well, I was talking to some Raven fans today, and I know the Ravens aren't going to be pulling out any of their first teamers for Saturday. Lamar Jackson is actually going to be the play caller for that preseason game. So I'm wondering if that's going to influence us not to put our starters on the field or not. But if we have players on the field, man, I'm just looking for some consistency in the play calling, even though it's gonna be vanilla. I want to see that people aren't confused, a bunch of people in the wrong places at the wrong time. I just want to see that the communication is strong. Like I really can't look at a player and ask him to perform because it just happens like that. You know, we got beat 48-10 in the preseason game I went to last year. If I took anything out of that and went back in the season, I would have thought definitely we wasn't in the Super Bowl. But you know, I just want to see what we got. And I'm just tired of watching, you know, the same clips over and over again of Jordan Davis and whoever and Jalen Hurts throwing to receivers with no DBs. I just want to see other DBs versus our team, other defenses versus our team, our offense, they defense, our defense, they offense. And if it's like DV said, we can get that first rep in. I really want to see this, DV. How fast will Jalen Hurts get down the field? Because how it sounded in practice, it sounded like he's 1, 2, 3, 4 touchdown. Like
that depends because I will be surprised if Jalen Hurts gets more than a series. And in some situations, let's say he goes in there and he gets 4 downs and then that's it. Even if they get a first down, it wouldn't surprise me if they pull him. So you're not gonna run an RPO or nothing like that in preseason. If they do, somebody needs to smack the hell out of Sirianni. He don't need to be in that type of danger. I'm looking for you got to look at it like an organizational thing. Do they have problems getting plays in? Like to your point, is the communication, you know, are they getting plays in and you got 5 seconds left on the play clock? Things like that. This is an organizational thing for these young guys to get acclimated to because it's a little bit different than college. So you gotta have you know your plays. It's got to be snappy, and you got to be ready to rock and roll. So that's what I look to see. You're gonna see some young players come in and make plays, but usually that's gonna happen in the second half. We were talking about
Marcus, quick question.
Sure.
You said the play calling, right? So you went to Eastern Kentucky. From there to the NFL, what's the length of play? Like I know the length. They say the length is the difference. Like how long the play is as calling it. You call it multiple formations and sets and all that. What was the difference in transition?
It's hard to say because every place is different. I know some colleges that their playbook was way more complex than what you would see in the NFL, or at least the verbiage was.
Okay.
But you got these people, some people give them names, some people give them numbers. For the most part, everybody knows what a 22 or a 31 or a 31 power, or, you know, when I was in college, strong right, strong left, strong right trips, deuces left, single ace. It's a whole bunch of different things, and every part of the play means something for somebody different. So now what they do is they try to dumb that down, and they try. And if you think about it, that's what they were doing in colleges. Remember when a couple years ago, when all the college games, everybody would look to the sideline, and you had pictures of Homer Simpson and all of that crazy stuff. Every picture meant something to somebody different on the field, but everybody got it at the same time. So all you got to do, if you're a wide receiver and you see Homer Simpson, you know, if you the X receiver, you know you got to go. If you the wide receiver, you know you got a 10-yard in. If you the tight end, you know you got to slant across the field or something like that. So it means different things for different people on different teams. So it's very difficult to answer that question because I don't know what Brian Johnson's verbiage is.
No, I wasn't asking for Brian Johnson, just in your particular perspective. I know you came from college to the NFL, and you also play in another league also. So I just wanted to see, like, I know the play calls go from simpler sometimes at certain schools, and then you get to the NFL and you got this 31 sentence paragraph that you got to call out in the huddle.
Yeah, I mean, like simple things like when I was in college, I was a tailback, period. My fullback, y'all remember Tim Lester that played for the Pittsburgh Steelers for a long time. Okay. Tim was my fullback, right? And it was I formation. That was it. So it was pretty simple for me. When I got to the Eagles, Now you're looking at an A back and a B back. An A back, there's no fullback, tailback. There's none of that. If you are on the side with the tight end, you are considered the B back. So you're a fullback. Now, that's troublesome to me coming out of college, and I'm 205 and I'm a fullback. I'm going to get my head blowed off. So different things like that. But after that, they might call it strong right. So if I'm the B back, I'm going to line up where the tight end is. Strong right, deuces left, 2 wide receivers on the left side. And they might call it, a Teddy waggle. Teddy means tight end runs a waggle, and the waggle means different things for the X and the wide receiver. So it wasn't too bad. The thing I remember with the Eagles was when I came to camp, I was late. I went to rookie camp after the draft, but when I came to camp, to regular camp, I was a day late because I stayed back so I could graduate, so I could walk. And then when I got to camp, the coach came in. I went to my first meeting, and the coach back then, they gave us books. We didn't have iPads yet. He's plopped down about, I want to say 150, 160 plays. And he was like, this is what you missed. Then he plopped down another one and said, this is what we're going over today. So it's not necessarily the verbiage. It's just the sheer amount of stuff that they give you. It's a lot. Did y'all hear the reports talking about everything that Sean Desai was throwing at the defense? They trying to throw everything at you to see what you can maintain and see what you can recollect. Because that's the hardest thing. They throw so much at you and just trying to remember everything. And the best teams are the ones where you get out there and you don't have to think. The minute you have to think, you're gonna lose. Because if somebody's coming at you and they know what they're doing, you're already a half a second behind. And that makes all the difference in the world. So you got to know your stuff and know what you're supposed to do versus this defense versus that defense. As a running back, I got to know what the offensive lineman calls are. If they call a Roger or a Louis, obviously Roger and Louis means they slide left or slide right. But if they call a Roger with something else, does that mean one person sliding and everybody's sliding except you got to watch the man in the middle? Different things like that. If the linebacker comes, do I have him? I can tell you some stories about that. Me versus a Mike linebacker, that's bad for business. So I caught the bad end of some things like that before, but you got to be able to fill that role, whatever they ask of you. And it's just a lot.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting.
That takes me to like, I don't like talk about it no more, but like the Super Bowl, like certain things, do you feel like players on the defensive end were in like bad positions, or do you think that it was more like just bad play calling in general? Do you think they were in bad positions to the point where they weren't going to win the battles that they were faced upon?
They're both they go hand in hand. You're out of position if they're not calling the right defenses based on the situation. So you can say that. I think it was more of we got nothing out of our defensive line for obvious reasons. They slipping on the field and all that kind of stuff. But can you really use that as an excuse? No. Kansas City played on the same field too. So, I did see enough plays where Hassan Reddick was coming off the edge and he just lost his feet and he didn't get there and different things like that, because that puts the pressure on the secondary. The longer they got to keep a man, checking their wide receiver. If you get no pressure, Patrick Mahomes didn't have nobody in his passing lanes. He was stepping up, delivering the ball because nobody was in his face for whatever reason. So that second half, I don't think Gannon made good enough adjustments. We got beat on the same play twice. That double motion where they came in and went back outside, and Doug Peterson killed us with that when we played Jacksonville. So
especially when they went up 14-0.
Yeah, Andy Reid. Here's what I said about the Super Bowl. We got out coached in the second half. We lost the chess match. I still believe we had the better team.
we did.
Jalen Hurts clearly outplayed Patrick Mahomes, and Patrick Mahomes.
Right.
I told everybody, Jalen Hurts was the MVP last year. If Patrick Mahomes didn't exist, Patrick Mahomes was doing video game type stuff, man, and you can't deny that. But in that game, Jalen Hurts outplayed him, but we lost the chess match. We got outcoached. And there's nothing you can do about that. And I don't necessarily put that on Sirianni. I put that on Gannon because he should have made some adjustments that he didn't make. But it's water under the bridge, man. We got to keep it moving. You learn from it, and you keep it going.
So going off of your response, another question is: do you feel like watching some of Sean Desai's schemes, do you think that he would make those halftime adjustments, or do you think that he would make those in-game adjustments that we would need to, seal the win for the team, especially if like the offensive if the offense is struggling? Do he get a short field percentage, short field advantages, and things like that? Do you think that Sean Desai can do a better job than Jonathan Gannon?
I have no earthly idea. because I say this, you're not the only person that's asked me those questions, but my logic is I cannot come with a legitimate opinion of the type of team we have until I have at least seen 3 to 4 games.
I seen you post that on Twitter.
Yeah, because the reason why I say that is at week 3 and 4, that means everybody in the league has tape on you. So now there's no surprises. And the further you get along in the season, the more now you're getting into, you go from they've seen you on tape. Now you're getting into, they study your tendencies. 75% of the time they do this on 3rd down. They do this on 2nd down. When it's 2nd down and 8 or longer, they tend to run this play. When it's 2nd down and 5 and they come out with this formation, 30% of the time they do this. So the longer the season goes, the more people learn tendencies. Earlier in the season, you don't know that. I don't know what Jalen Carter's going to look like yet. I don't know what Jordan Davis is going to look like yet. Matter of fact, if you think about last year, we were god-awful in tackling the first 4 weeks because we didn't hit in camp.
We were.
So whoever can wrap up the best is going to, be out the gates first. So I'll say it like this. I trust that Sean Desai will make some good decisions. He knows the type of pieces he has on his chessboard. So I trust that he'll make the right decisions and put them guys in the right place because he knows he's been around this before. He knows if he doesn't do it in this town, it's going to be hell to pay. So, but I think, and you got to remember, as much as we give Gannon all of the crap, and rightfully so, we did have one of the best defenses in the league last year. It should have been all time, but despite his shortcomings, it was still one of the best defenses in the league. So there's not really much Sean Desai really needs to do. He just needs to look at it, adjust some of the pieces that are on the field, and make the alterations where they need to be made. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And we got our defense is solid, man.
So going off of what you just said, so Jonathan Gannon is on record saying that Hassan Reddick could have had 20 plus tackles if he didn't drop him back in coverage.
The first 4 games, I saw that.
Yeah. Certain things that he did that he was like, oh, it's my fault. Before Vic Fangio got signed on later on in the season. Do you think that we could have been all time if Jonathan Gannon made those halftime adjustments, not try to play prevent to the point where, second quarter our offense was, booming to the point where it's just protecting the lead? Do you think that you go?
I will say possibly. I mean, that's what I just said. We had a very good defense, but the defense should have been on. Because I agree. I'm of the ilk. When I used to coach, I don't want to. You have to know your personnel, and in my opinion, where a lot of professional coaches, NFL coaches, get in trouble, they think they're smarter than the guys they got on the field. If your guy is good at rushing, let him rush. You know who was a master at that? Was Bill Belichick.
Mm-hmm.
You look at Edelman and some of them other receivers he had that he won Super Bowls with, but he didn't win the Super Bowl with Randy Moss. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
that's crazy.
Belichick was a master of, I got a guy, and this is what the guy is good at. You got one job, and I need you to do that one job the best you can. And that's what he did.
Right.
By him going back to Gannon, by Gannon not rushing Hassan Reddick right off the bat, you probably took about 4 to 6 sacks away from him.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
he could have broke that record last year.
He could have. You saw what he did in Arizona when they started playing him as a rush and stopped playing him as a linebacker. You saw what he did when he went to Carolina. Hell, all you got to do is look at the game where he played us and he had 2 sacks. So, yes, you can bitch, moan, and complain because he didn't do it sooner. But I mean, you know, woulda, coulda, shoulda, don't do nothing but rhyme, and we got to keep it moving. So I am hoping that Sean Desai won't make those same mistakes, because to me that's logical. If Hassan Reddick is best rushing the passer off the edge, let him rush the passer. If Nolan Smith is better playing a 4-eye technique like he did, then play him at the 4-eye, or you put him where he is best at what he does. That's what a good coach is, not putting everybody in your system. We already got beat by that with Chip Kelly. So you know, we know what not to do. Sean Desai's got to figure out the pieces he's got on his board and put them in the right place. I think he can do that.
Yeah.
All right. We know Monday.
Hey, bro, like not to cut you off, but that's what I was basically telling you on Twitter. You know, we was going back and forth. I just want him to have the right personnel in the right place to the point where we can get the best execution.
I said one thing and left. I told you what I felt. Sean Desai had a dookie defense in Chicago. Yes, he made it.
No, I'm not talking about his defense in Chicago.
No, listen.
I'm talking about what he got now.
He made it formidable. So now you have talent and you have players in position that you didn't have before. Now the stuff you wanted to try in Chicago, I feel safe with you trying it now. I feel like you can put those little wrinkles in your defense that you wanted before. I'm comfortable. That's what I was telling you. I'm comfortable.
And don't forget, when he was at Chicago, they gave away the best player on the team in Khalil Mack.
Yeah, and he still had a formidable defense.
But to combat that, Jonathan Gannon was basically saying that his defense prior to last season sucked because they didn't have the right personnel. Then we had the right personnel, and he waited until like the biggest game to actually sit up there and, you know, play Jonathan Gannon defense.
Yeah, Jonathan Gannon also opened the book and said, "Oh, I like Vic Fangio's defense. I think I should try it. Let me see if I can make it work." That's why I got so much.
Not at Super Bowl Sunday.
Oh no!
Well, here's the thing.
He turned the page 1 and he ain't turn again. He turned.
Yeah, here's the thing. This works. And this is I don't blame him for this, because if I'm gonna go down, I'm gonna go down swinging. If he gonna get me, at least I'm gonna make it worth my while. So if you gonna get me, you gonna get me going out my way, and that's what he did. And his way essentially worked all year. We know about the problems with the running game. It was what it was. We got a little bit better when he got Linval Joseph and Ndamukong Suh. They came in and made an immediate impact when we played Indianapolis. And then we got up, then we got down, and then it just kept going back and forth. But what was his philosophy? He didn't want to give up big plays, big splash plays.
Take a million paper cuts.
And that's what he did. He went down with the ship, doing his thing. And I respect him for that, but I still wish he would have took that another step and say, okay, this ain't working. Let's go in a different direction. Absolutely, I wish he would have done that, but I understand.
Like, I felt like when we got beat on the 2 motion plays, the second motion play, you should have initially told the outside corner, look, if they do that motion, he's coming back. You have the outside. Do not give the outside up to the inside man. That's what Slay did the first time. He ran in. He told Maddox, hey, it's going outside. He put his hand up. It's outside. Maddox, that's you. Maddox in his head was like, I'm going inside. I've been looking at this man for 20 seconds at this point. Wherever he goes, where I'm going. I ain't even hear you. You go
Right.
back outside. And he went
But-
right inside. Slay went inside. And now you got Pacheco, whoever that was, going back outside.
Oh, yeah,
Right.
wide open.
But what did I mention earlier about thinking about a play? That can happen with veterans because to me, that's a film study, and that's where you get into Andy Reid out coaching. Because I guarantee you, we did not prepare for that play.
No,
I'm gonna guess that we didn't. None of our opponents or nobody that Kansas City played did they ever do that. What Kansas City did was they looked at all of the games that we played and all of the teams that had success against us. What did they do? Okay, we're going to input this in and put this in. And because the first time they run that, didn't they run that from the left side? And the second time they run it from the right?
No, opposite.
That's what I was about to say. That's exactly.
Second time they ran it from the left.
But that's exactly what I was about to say. That's exactly what I was about to say because, I was going to use a Madden reference. When you sit up there and select a play and then you hit R1 and it flipped. That's exactly what happened. That's exactly what happened. And I'm like, they made it so simple. That's what made it frustrating for us that know football. It made it so frustrating that Jonathan Gannon didn't make that adjustment.
And you're right, but that's just the way that it goes. It's like if you're walking down the street and somebody say duck. Are you going to duck? No. You either going to ask duck from what? Or are you going to ask who are you? So
I'll turn around.
Or you go with a
exactly. But even if you do, you're not going. If a stranger comes up to you, you're gonna be like, "Who are you?" Like duck from what? So there is a second where you got to process what's going on. Now, like back to my other point, if they would have seen that before and studied it and been aware of it, you definitely would have had a different result, especially after you got burned on it the first time. But what Andy Reid did was he saw how they reacted to it on the one side, and then he just flipped it. Because even if they tell you it's coming, if you never ran it before, it's just different. It's just like I remember being in games, not the starter, and then I finally get in and they run a trap play, but I hit the hole too fast and I run into the pulling guard. And my guy looks at me like, "You didn't run this in practice, did you?" I was like, "Nope, the timing is not right." So different things like that. So when you're in the middle of the game and they run that play, even if you did recognize it, now they got you on pins and needles. Is he going to take off and go jet motion all the way across? And then it goes into a technique thing. The minute that defensive back opens his hips and starts running with you, you got him because he doesn't know what you're going to do. And that ain't no different than if you were running a pass pattern and the DB opens his hips, then you hit him with a slant because all you need is that 3 yards of separation and you got him.
I wouldn't be surprised if at the top of that route, if the cornerback was there was an option to go back inside.
Absolutely.
Right.
There's always 2 or 3 options to every play. Always. And then when you're talking about Patrick Mahomes, he's the 4th. So we got out coached. Period.
Yeah, we did. That's basically where I'm at with it. A lot of people was blaming the field. A lot of people was blaming that holding call. A lot of people was blaming everything else. We couldn't get to the quarterback. It was just that we got out coached.
We lost that game on the fumble.
Darlene, there was no shootout.
Teams.
Are you?
Why do you think? Why do you think it was the fumble though?
Well, I look at it.
When he explained this, he got to take this walk with me now.
Yeah, when you
take this walk.
I'm listening. I'm listening.
The only thing I'm saying, what was the score of the Super Bowl?
35-38.
Right. So if you take that fumble and that score away, what's the score? Who wins?
What if we go 3 and out and they still score?
But see. Here's my argument.
You can say that, but now you're talking about a time issue. But my point is simply this: you don't want to give nobody points. You don't want to give them points. If they earn it, they earn it. If we go 3 and out and then they go down and score, so be it. But it's not because we fumbled the ball and we gave them 7. We gave them 7 points. That's my point. Sure. If they go back and get it, so be it. Just like we did when we came out in the second half, battle back, all of that kind of stuff. We earned that. But you can't give them 7 points. You can't give them a punt return like that. Because you're making it easy for them. So it is what it is.
All right. All right.
So
What was the score after that fumble, though? What was the score after that fumble? Hold on, DB.
Right.
What was the score after that fumble?
That score
14-14.
Right.
What was the score after the next possession? 21-14.
Right.
We made a stop. 24-14.
Correct.
It's a 10 point. That fumble is long out of your mind. You got to have a short memory playing football. That's done.
You are 100% correct.
Jonathan Gannon killed us. He came out and let this man go down the field in less than 3 minutes and score a touchdown coming out of the third.
I'm not disagreeing with that. That's not my point. You are 100% right in everything
I'm trying to listen.
However, it does not take away the fact that we gave them 7 points. That does not take that away. Everything you said is 100% correct. I cannot disagree with anything you said. However, it does not take those 7 points off the board. We gave them 7 points. If that doesn't happen, we win the game.
I don't think so. Jonathan
didn't adjust. We'll agree to disagree.
No, right. Here's my thing. Here's my thing. If we're talking about what cost us the game, if we're going to go to the offensive side, I think it was more of the Quez Watkins drop than the fumble, because we had momentum and he dropped it there to the point where we could have, kept the pressure on, and it gave them life.
But it's the
same
thing. Did we score on that drive? Did we kick a field goal?
No.
But the result is the
same.
We
had to punt it.
So what?
And even AJ Brown said it. Listen, even AJ Brown said, "Look, when we punted the ball, I knew it was over." He even said it.
So what's the difference between us almost scoring a touchdown and them recovering the fumble for a pick and score? What's the difference? The difference is 7 points. So whether we would have gotten 7 points or we gave up 7 points, all I'm simply saying is, you know what? Break it down to this. In my opinion, there were 2 opportunities that we could have stopped the score, and we would have came out on the better end of that. But we didn't. That's all.
I see your argument. Your argument is if we what we could have controlled, we didn't. And I get what your argument is. I get it.
Nobody can do it, but I bet you if you ask Jalen Hurts that question, he'll tell you the same thing.
He would, because he wants to put it all on him, because that's what he had to do with all his collegiate career and now his NFL career.
What would be the difference between us giving up them catching a fumble and scoring, or if he threw a pick six? What's the difference? He made a mistake. However you want to look at it, however that mistake manifested, it's still a mistake. And when you're looking at it from a team aspect,
it is.
And let's not forget that we lucked out, because that play with Miles Sanders was a fumble. We just lucked out that they didn't call it that way. So you win some, you lose some. And in this situation, that we made more mistakes than they did.
Yeah, and that's what it came down to. And that's what I'm saying. It came from a veteran coach or veteran coaches, because Eric B was there too, to, coaches that was in like they full second, third year coaching a big game like that. They knew how to win the game. Yeah. And that's all it came down to. That's all it came down to.
It is what it is. They got the ring.
Back
let's talk about 23.
Yeah. That's what I was about to go to. So, my question to you is, week 1, who's your starting safeties?
Who's my starting safeties? Who we got?
Week 1, knowing what we know now, who's your starting safeties? Week 1 against the Patriots.
Reed Blankenship, and you know what? I would still go Reed Blankenship and Edmonds.
Wow.
I don't think. I think eventually Sidney Brown will start, but I don't think Sidney Brown is mentally ready yet. I don't think he knows the defense. I don't think he knows the defense well enough, and that will because it's a new defense for everybody with Sean Desai, that gives him an advantage. But I still would rather have the veteran in there. Now Sidney Brown's gonna come on eventually. I think he'll be starting by the end of the year. That's what I think.
Question B: do you think that the three safety defense that Sean Desai was trying? Do you think that will work for the Eagles?
I don't know. I got to see him play it first.
Mm-hmm.
I got to see him play it first because just to give the analogy, who in their mind thought the RPO would have worked with Jalen Hurts?
Anybody that looked at any of his college tape.
Yeah, but now my point is that in the NFL, and you look at all of the quarterbacks that have had some type of run and shoot, it works for a minute and then they get figured out. Lamar Jackson, Kaepernick back in the day. What's the boy in New Orleans? Taysom Hill, all of that. But eventually defenses catch up. So my point is that nobody would have thought we would have had a strong RPO offense, but we did, and nobody could stop it. So my point is that when it comes to what they're going to do on defense, if they do run three safeties, whatever they're going to do, they're going to try some things out. They're going to disguise some things. If it works, they will keep doing it. If they don't, or if it doesn't work, they're going to stop.
Yeah, but here's my thing about that. I think that with Jalen Hurts, I think that what he got different from the Lamar Jacksons, the Kaepernicks, and any other mobile quarterback is that his mentality is different. You know, I don't think he's going to be like a Cam Newton that went to the Super Bowl and then all of a sudden just fell off the track. I think he's going to still be able to boost off of that. You know, that's what, to be realistic, that's what all Eagles fans is hoping for. You know, that's what the organization is hoping for. That's why we paid them. But at the end of the day, I think that Jalen Hurts is going to be one of those guys that's going to change the dynamic of the quarterback position of this generation, I should say. Not previous, because the previous it was Michael Vick hands down. But it's going to be Jalen Hurts that's going to change that. Yes, he didn't win an MVP like Lamar Jackson, but I really believe that him being basically the offensive system and people wanting to play for him and with him, I think that Jalen Hurts has those intangibles to be able to lead a team to multiple Super Bowl appearances, win or loss. But
I'm not going to stretch that far. I agree with what you're saying. However, his intangibles and his attitude and his state of mind have zero to do with the 240-pound linebacker falling on his shoulder. Now you're talking about the law of averages. We're talking about, we have, in my opinion, we have a franchise quarterback. I don't like to use the word intangibles because intangibles is the word that they use when they're trying to describe a quarterback that isn't very good. He's got the intangibles. He's a great leader. He's the first in, last one out. That's what they try to think of something to say when they don't like what they have. So I understand it, but I don't like using it. Jalen Hurts has shown he is a true dual threat quarterback, meaning he can beat you with the run. And if you try to stop the run, he can beat you over the top. He proved that last year. And because he proved that, what I want to see this year is I do not want to see so many RPOs. I do not want to see our franchise quarterback in danger because we saw what happened last year when QB1 is not under center. That's bad for business. So what I would like to see, and both of these things can be mutually true. If they reduce the RPOs and the stable of running backs that we have, Jalen Hurts should be able to have more passing attempts, and we should be able to have more rushing attempts with the running backs. Give the ball to the guys we pay to run the ball. Mm-hmm. We got an explosive guy. We got a shifty guy. We got 2 power backs. And we got the best offensive line, arguably, in football.
Right.
So there is no reason. I'm of the ilk that you should use the play action to set up the RPO, not the other way around. I said this, DV, I don't know if you was on this or not, where I said the easiest way to stop the RPO is hit the quarterback. If you're a defensive end and you trying to run an RPO, you tell your defensive end, don't go for the ball carrier. You hit the quarterback, whether he gives it up or not. A team does not want their quarterback to take those shots. If you go back and you look at the Texans game last year, you look at number 55 for the Texans. He put on a clinic on how to slow down the RPO. You hit the quarterback. So what you do is you flip it. You use the play action to set up the RPOs. You give the ball to Rashad. You give the ball to Gainwell. You throw a screen. You rinse and repeat until they start crashing down to stop the run. Then you pull it and dump it to the tight end and go around the corner. So in my opinion, you just got to flip that around. But we cannot. I know people want him to keep doing what he's been doing, and I think he will to a certain degree. But we cannot, under any circumstances, be running Jalen Hurts 10 to 17 times a game. You asking for trouble. And I don't want to do that.
Bro,
the NFL's top 100 players list was fully revealed last night, and I have a major issue with the top 10. There is no world where Jalen Hurts is a better quarterback than Joe Burrow. No world where Jalen Hurts is a better quarterback than Josh Allen. Jalen Hurts is terrific, but please, number 3 overall, what are we doing here? Patrick Mahomes, number 1, absolutely. Justin Jefferson, number 2, love it. Bosa, Kelsey in the top 5, fantastic, but come on. Jalen Hurts makes no sense. Look at the last couple of years. Watch these guys play. Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, they have a better body of work. They've been more dominant more often. And even last year, if you want to say, oh, it's based upon last year. And listen, Jalen Hurts was superb, but look at how Joe Burrow played, and look at how Josh Allen played, and Jalen Hurts got hurt down the stretch of the regular season, and that has to be factored in. And this is not any shade at Jalen Hurts. I think Jalen Hurts is a terrific player, super smart, big-time leader. I have said this before, and I'll say it again. I believe he matched Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl. You could make the case he was as good or even better than Patrick Mahomes. This was a dominant.
What did I just tell you about that word intangibles? That's exactly what he was talking about. Those are the intangibles I was telling you about. When people don't want to give him his props, he's got the intangibles. He's a great leader and all that kind of stuff.
Thank you for that video, Miss Ash. Appreciate you.
So,
no, I don't know. You know, they put him at 3, and the disrespect since he's been put at 3 has just been unbearable. Like, I understand. I didn't have him at 3, but if you go, his own peers, the guys he played against, the guys he put the stats up against, they voted him 3. So how is the list so trash? How is the top 100 so trash? The people that are actually putting in the work vote.
Because that's why. Because the people that play voted on by your peers, those are the ones that count. Whereas the media heads, the people that don't watch tape, they want to give their opinion and spout their opinions. Because nothing can get more clicks now than saying Jalen Hurts is trash, or saying Dak is trash, or Josh, whatever they want to say. It really is, it's really just clickbait, in my opinion. But the big thing that people forget is they're basing their opinion on, I want to see a drop back quarterback that throws for 8 million yards. Not necessarily that this quarterback that wasn't supposed to be any good at one point was undefeated and took his team to the Super Bowl. That's what they don't want to. Well, he did this, but all they want to look at is somebody that drops back, stands in the pocket, and throws the ball 8 million times. The best arm I ever seen in football was Jeff George. What was his record? That dude can throw the ball a country mile. What was his record? Dan Marino, all the records that he's got to the Super Bowl once, never got back to the again. And Miami was notorious for not having a running game because Dan Marino could throw the ball everywhere. What did that get him? Nothing. So he's just doing it a different way. I played with Randall Cunningham. I played against Doug Flutie. So I've seen running quarterbacks throughout my career. And now we're just to a point where it's actually working. Somebody's figured out the solution to it, and they're making it work. Now, will the defenses eventually catch up with them? Yes. But like I said earlier, Jalen Hurts has shown me that if they do take away the run game, he's going to beat you over the top, especially with Devontae Smith, A.J. Brown, and Dallas Goedert. So,
right.
And that's the other thing we could probably get into later. I don't know where this narrative has come from, that if you've got a good support system around you,
you're a bum.
That dumbs down. Yeah, I don't understand that. Were you on the thing this morning was that the Cincinnati fans? And I was feeling some kind of way
because
I'm born and raised in Cincinnati, man. They're my people.
They said Eagle fans. They said Eagle fans. I don't understand. I never heard an Eagle fan say this. They'll say Jalen Hurts is good because we brought in A.J. Brown and took away Jalen Reagor and got our weapons together. But we'll knock Joe Burrow because he got a. No, we knocked Joe Burrow for different reasons, and we don't even really knock Joe. It's more Cincinnati. Because y'all can't build an offensive line to keep the man on his 10 toes.
Listen, Joe Burrow is nasty. Joe Burrow is from Cincinnati. I was like, Joe Burrow is that dude. He's from the hometown. He stayed in his hometown, and he's balling. And I ain't going to lie to you. If the Eagles would have played the Bengals in the Super Bowl, I don't know what I was going to do. I was going to be a wreck. Because I grew up, man, listen, I grew up in the jungle with Icky Woods and the Shuffle. That's what I grew up with. So I got much love for them Cincinnati Bengals. I will tell anybody in a minute. I bleed green, but I was born in the jungle. I will fly Eagles fly, but I will hoo-day in a hot second. So for them to talk that smack, like it doesn't matter. It absolutely matters, dude. Look at your wide receivers and what y'all did until you got those wide receivers. Joe Burrow's biggest thing now is he going to go down as one of those great quarterbacks that can't stay healthy? Because did you see how he messed up his calf?
On the run.
Nobody touched him.
On the run.
That's the worst thing that can happen to an athlete is they pull something, they twist something, and nobody touched them. Non-contact injury, that's the worst. That means your whatever happened, your joints just expired. Look at OBJ with the Rams. His knee just gave out. Nobody touched him.
But they told him, listen, you know what's funny? Did you see Sean McVay interview on I Am Athlete?
No, I have not.
He said when they did, they do the I ain't gotta explain to you, but to the people that don't know, when you go to a new team, they do a physical, MRI, stuff like that.
Absolutely.
They told OBJ his knee was screwed before he played it down for the Rams. Mm-hmm. And OBJ told him we gonna run it until it fall off the bone.
Yeah. And he got a ring out of it.
And he was going to be the focal point of that ring.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They didn't have to tell me that. Just watching that game and watching how Odell was in places where they was passing the ball to, you could tell they told OBJ, look, if we can get you to rock, we're going to get you to rock. That man said, from what he's seen in the playbook, at least 15 catches for 200.
Yep.
What he had, 3 catches for like 70 already? 3 catches for 60 or something?
Cleveland got to be sick. Because now, did you see the thing with about Manziel?
No, I haven't watched it yet.
The only clip they keep showing is him talking to somebody where the dudes were proving that he didn't watch tape. He didn't study.
I heard about it. He had like the iPad, and they went in and checked it, and he had 0, 0, 0. And so they had never even turned it on since they gave it to it. Like
so everybody goes back
Marcus Russell
to that report when OBJ's dad sent that tape to the Browns. That's what did it. Like, my son is open here. Anytime, I wish it wouldn't happen, but that's the way it goes. Anytime your parents is getting involved with social media and stuff like that, somebody gonna take an L, and usually it's the parents. This is one of the few times where the family came out on top. Normally, that's not a good look. But people in Cleveland, they got to be sick. because he was trying to ball and they wouldn't throw him the ball, and now you know it's all Manziel's fault. All Manziel's fault.
Okay.
So I got a question for
Wait.
you, DV. I got a question for you.
Go ahead.
When you look at Jalen Hurts, do you see what I see? Right? Because a lot of the difference between him and I believe, and you tell me if I'm wrong, the difference between him and a lot of other mobile quarterbacks is a lot of his best passes come inside the pocket when a lot of the other mobile quarterbacks' best passes come on the move. Would you agree with me on that?
I do.
What about you, Marcus?
I think.
Well, say that. So you're saying that when he stays in the pocket, he delivers the ball better?
I think his passes to me inside the pocket are more precise. Like he's amazing outside the pocket, but like some of those he dropped in on AJ Brown and Devontae Smith inside that pocket. That Dallas, like his passes inside the pocket are crispy. But I noticed like a lot of passers that are mobile, they have a bad I need to be on the move like type of deal. Where they got to be on the move kind of to get that the sling on the ball or whatever you want to say about it. I just think Jalen Hurts, he has the ability to plant his feet and kind of deliver the rock more than most other mobiles.
I would agree because I think he's trying to get off the stigma of running quarterbacks can't throw the ball. But his that, in my opinion, what you're talking about is a mechanical thing. Getting around there, getting his hips around, planting his feet, and delivering the ball. That's the biggest thing that I've seen. There's a guy, what's his name? JT. What is his last name? Daggone it. He's got a website, a YouTube channel called The Quarterback School, and he used to play. He was a career backup quarterback. JT O'Sullivan, The Quarterback School.
Okay.
Love watching his stuff because he breaks down. And he talks like he's in the film room, and he just breaks down the quarterback, your feet, what it looks like running the ball, technique type stuff. And Jalen Hurts is on top of his game when it comes to technique, getting his feet around, your body placement, and getting the throw. Because if you remember, in 21, that was his biggest criticism. He did not get the ball out on time, and his accuracy was god-awful. And then you saw all of that manifest in that Tampa Bay game. Now, when you go from Tampa Bay to what we saw last year, I will tell anybody, if you are a young quarterback, you need to have Jalen Hurts on speed dial and say, hey, man, who did you work out with in that year? Because that's what I want to do. Because that maturation is unparalleled. I've never seen that before. I've never seen a quarterback go from what he was at the end of that year to what he became last year. To me, that was phenomenal.
And then here's my thing, right? This is what I wanted to say before Smitty asked me that question. 2021, we were talking about Jalen Hurts. Is he the guy? Should we give him another year? It's a contract year for him. Let's see what's going on. It was rumors that he was working out with the Manning brothers. It was rumors that he was working out with Drew Brees, on timing and accuracy, things like that. It's not more about who he was working out with. It's about the mentality of, are you going to be able to equip that into your game? And I believe that that's what he did. This is why a lot of people in Philadelphia or in whoever's Eagles fans outside of Philadelphia are fans of Jalen Hurts, because Jalen Hurts did the groundwork. We are blue collar city at the end of the day. And he basically did the groundwork to the point where he got better at certain things, and everything that I heard players say when they were saying, who should be number one. And they was talking about Jalen Hurts, even though they had him at number 3, was basically everything that he worked hard for, collegiate, he got benched, he had to go to another school, things like that, Everything that he worked hard for is basically what Philadelphia is about. And I think this is why Philadelphia rides with him so much. Now, yes, he only got AJ Brown in the offseason of last year. And, you see what he did with that, because he had that connection with him personally. but we was trying to see how it was on the field. His accuracy got better. Everything got better. You know, the players is on record saying, "Hey, he could kill you with his legs or his arm." They wasn't saying that a year ago. A year ago, they were saying, "Yo, run the damn ball." That's what they were saying, because this is how the offense was supposed to move. You got to give Jalen Hurts credit. You know, a lot of people were saying, you know, we were just talking about Joe Burrow. Now, me and Smitty is on record, especially, you know, a couple shows ago, saying Joe Burrow was carried a little bit. You know, he was carried a little bit by that defense. You know, yes, you can say the same thing about Jalen Hurts, but the difference is that Jalen Hurts has players that wants to play for him, that see him as a leader. You know, the defensive players for the Cincinnati Bengals was basically making sure that Burrow had a chance at a short field, whereas though Jalen Hurts is doing everything in his power to win. You know, regardless of his arm, it's him rushing. You know, he's bench pressing 600 pounds to the point where he can. Yeah, he can make those plays against the Vikings. You know, when he reached for you know, he's dragging guys with him. You know, this is what we want. It's not the year of those pocket passing quarterbacks like a Peyton Manning and a Tom Brady just to be surgical, things like that. It's more so, just like he said, he's a triple threat quarterback to the point where he can mess you up with with not just his mind, but his athleticism in running, and also what he's basically worked on, his work ethic towards passing. You know, and that's what we're all for. We didn't have an athlete in Philadelphia like this since Allen Iverson. I'm gonna just be honest. Regardless of the Super Bowl that we just won in 2017, regardless of World Series championships or World Series appearance, we did not have an athlete like Jalen Hurts putting in the work for the city, for the team as Jalen Hurts. We did. So
you're speaking as far as like homebred, right?
But this say that again.
You're speaking as far as like homebred talent, right? More the homebred.
Exactly.
Okay.
So we haven't had that in a while. I'm not even talking about like defense, because defense we had guys, of course, but offense we didn't have a guy that put in the work ethic to get better. The mental capacity of, hey, what do I need to do to get better? You know, he went into the office, Sean Desai, and said, yo, I want to look at tapes of what I could do better. You know, a lot of people look at Elliott Short, Parks, ESP, and be like, hey, he's not throwing too many touchdowns. He's not doing this and that and the third. We got a good defense. But, you know, him going against his defense, it could slow the game down for him against the opposing defense. So you got to look at it both ways. I believe that is rightfully so that Jalen Hurts is the second best quarterback in the league. He was second in MVP running. And I just don't understand why people are hating. But I laugh at it because of the simple fact that, you know, they feel like Joe Burrow or Josh Allen or somebody's better than Josh Allen had high interceptions, number one, to the point where his receivers ask him questions like, yo, what's going on? Joe Burrow didn't get it done. He didn't get it done, period. I'll say Joe Burrow and Jalen Hurts could be neck and neck, but the Super Bowl appearance and his performance that he did, he outplayed Patrick Mahomes. And Patrick Mahomes was on a bad day. I'm not taking nothing away from Patrick Mahomes, but Jalen Hurts did his thing in the Super Bowl, so we can't take that away from him. People downplaying that, you know, the Nick from Fox Sports. I forgot Nick Wright from Fox Sports downplaying, saying that, hey, y'all questioning his accuracy, y'all questioning his passing. How can he be number 3 on the list? That's crazy. That's crazy. You seen what happened in the Super Bowl. You seen that, okay, we went down and our quarterback got us down the field and basically took some of your guys into the end zone with him to tie the game up. You know, you've seen things like that. If we get a stop, if that holding wasn't called, Jalen Hurts with a minute or something, we don't know what could have happened, but I'm betting the house that Jalen Hurts would have been able to get at least 3 points out of that. Right.
When it gets to this level though, because this is where the fandom comes in and it gets overblown and they go overboard with it. And we're Philadelphia, the Philadelphia faithful is no more better or worse than what they do in Dallas, than what they do with the Vikings and any other team, Kansas City. Everybody does the same thing. So for me, and again, I'm taking my perspective having been a player, I don't pay attention to it. I don't pay attention to rankings. I don't pay attention to who your predictions are, who's going to win the East, West. Because right now, at this particular moment, it doesn't matter. There is nothing, zero, that you can say right now to a Cowboys fan that'll convince them that Dak is trash. Nothing you can say. There is nothing that somebody there is nothing that somebody from New York could say to us to convince us that Jalen isn't ranked. He doesn't deserve that ranking. For all the people that say he doesn't, Burrow is better and Allen is better, this, that, and the other. To me, it doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is when we get to the regular season, are we healthy? And then when we get to the end of the season, are we in the playoffs? And then when we get to the playoffs, can we go deep in the playoffs? So everybody that's got something to say, my thing is like this. It's going to all play out one way or the other. So all of them people that talk that smack when the Cowboys beat us in Dallas with Gardner Minshew, that put 35
Super Bowl,
or whatever it was.
Exactly.
So anybody that's got stuff to say with something like that, all they talking about is they just want another opportunity to beat us. San Francisco just wants another opportunity to beat us because they couldn't get it done. Because if the situation was reversed, wouldn't nobody give a damn whether Jalen Hurts hurt his elbow? Brock Purdy is in the same way. Mind you, San Francisco's in the world of hurt right now because they don't know if Brock Purdy's going to be it. Well, he's going to start, but I don't know. That's funny. That's a whole nother conversation. But them 49er fans is woof.
Goofy.
Man, I have never seen so many people see the same thing and have so many different opinions on their starting quarterback.
Right.
I do not believe that fan base is all in on Brock Purdy.
If Brock Purdy would have played, would have beat them by 20. Oh my God.
Maybe you would have, maybe you wouldn't have. But at the end of the day, you didn't get it done. We got there and you didn't. So if you're going to be mad, you be mad by yourself. But back to the original point. I'm sorry for diverting, but I don't get worried about what people think about Jalen Hurts. There's nothing you're going to do to convince him. All that Jalen Hurts got to do is keep doing what he's been doing, take us deep in the playoffs. And anybody that got something to say, they'll be saying while they're watching at home. That's it. I'm not trying to convince a Cowboys fan. You can't do it. I'm not trying. One of my good friends is Jason Dunn. Jason Dunn played for the Eagles, but he's a Kansas City because most of his years were with Kansas City. So he's a Kansas City fan, right? So there's some things that he's just not going to get. And I don't expect him to because that's what fandom does. So I don't try to convince somebody. It's not me. It's not for me to convince you. What it's for us to beat you when we play you. Now, if you got something to say after that, if you beat me, then you can talk smack because you beat me. But we were in the playoffs and you weren't. And now all you want to do is throw stuff about how Jalen Hurts is trash, this, that, and the other. That's your prerogative. But guess what? You're going to have to come see us. And we'll see what's what then.
Right. And that's my whole approach about it. That's where I was at with opposing teams. The only team that can really talk trash to us is the Kansas City Chiefs. That's the only team that's just facts. And I'm not approaching it as, the Dallas Cowboys or the Giants or the Commanders, they've been chirping. I'm not approaching it as they looking at it as, Jalen Hurts is trash or anything like that. I'm saying for our fan base, because it's some now. It used to be half, but it's some now that still don't believe that Jalen Hurts is that guy.
That's okay.
Majority of us does, but it's some fan base, some of our fan base that don't believe it, but at the same time, you gotta see where this guy came from. Like, we can't sit up there and say we want somebody that's going to, play his heart out for the city or put his body on the line.
Let me stop you right there, because that's where you're wrong.
Go ahead.
That's where you're wrong. It is not on another team's fans to figure out and understand and empathize where Jalen Hurts comes from and his struggle. They don't give a damn about all of that. All they care about
I'm
is
not talking about them. That's not what I'm talking about. See, what I'm talking about is us. I'm not talking about them.
Well, we do.
I'm talking about us.
We already know.
But some of us don't. Some of us don't. It used to be half. But some of us now still don't believe that he deserved that contract. Some of us don't believe that, because some of us, and I'm saying us because, everybody's Eagles fans. Some of us look at national sports media and don't really look at the game for themselves and look at national sports media and say, oh, he got AJ Brown. That's the only reason why he was good. Or, hey, we had 70 sacks, so this is why he was good. They make so many excuses for Jalen Hurts, but never made an excuse for Lamar Jackson in his MVP season. Never made an excuse for Joe Burrow making it to the Super Bowl, beating Patrick Mahomes. And never made an excuse for any of them. But soon as Jalen Hurts did it, now it's like, oh, he's only this because of this. He's only this because of this. And they run with that, some of the fan base, and run with that because some of the fan base still want Carson Wentz back.
But that's okay.
I'll talk to guys.
Let them. That's called being a bandwagon fan. And you're going to have them in every city. Because you know what? If you think, look at Josh Allen in Buffalo.
Mm-hmm.
In Buffalo right now, Josh Allen is the be-all, end-all. And you know what? Josh Allen has been balling. No mistake. But if you go back and look at some of the receipts his rookie year, they wanted him out of town. They said that man couldn't hit a mirror in the bathroom. They said he was horrible, and they wanted to run him out of town. But the thing in today's NFL, this is the thing that frustrates me about today's NFL. Everybody wants everything now. Nobody is able to take their lumps. For as much as we hate the Cowboys, I grew up in a different era. I remember when Troy Aikman led the league in interceptions and was 1-16 or 1-15 his rookie year. I remember when Peyton Manning led the league in interceptions and was god awful his first year in Indianapolis. And how
26 and 28.
How many years did it take him to get? Nobody wants to take their lumps. Everybody just want to add water and have instant superstar. It doesn't happen. You look at you were talking about the people in this city at quarterback. Look at what Michael Vick did. Nobody expected an MVP season from Michael Vick. You know why? Because Michael Vick threw the ball when he got here. He learned how to throw the ball. Even when Randall was here, Randall didn't throw the ball anywhere near what he did when he got to Minnesota.
Right.
So there's a season for everything, and you're going to have your fans in every city. Doesn't matter what team. I guarantee you it's somebody that have the exact same train of thought that you do in every city, because you always going to have bandwagon fans. There's always going to be people that didn't want Jalen Hurts. Heck, I was one of them people. I was like, maybe we can get Russell Wilson. I don't know, but okay, I can see maybe we getting Russell Wilson and keep him on a 2-year contract, and Jalen Hurts can learn behind Russ Wilson. And because nobody knew, because at the end of the day, what Jalen Hurts did last year, nobody expected that to happen. He blew out everybody's expectations so far and beyond what anybody thought was coming, that now we're all enamored. But let's not forget where it started. Now, I was one of the ones where I was like, he earned his opportunity to start. He wasn't great at the end of 21, but he earned his opportunity to start. And that's all I wanted. What I wanted for Jalen Hurts was I needed him to be good and consistent, because his passing was bad. His accuracy was god-awful. And he wasn't an NFL quarterback yet. But neither is anybody as a rookie and going through the stuff he did. But credit to Howie Roseman, the Wizard of Philadelphia. He let Jalen take his lumps.
Hotta, thank you for being fashionably late, brother. Appreciate you for showing up. Nah, I understand, bro. Everybody have emergencies in life, dog.
I'm here.
I want to ask Marcus. I want to ask Marcus a question real quick. So, off of what you just said, do you think that his progression as an NFL quarterback was hindered by how they were trying to use him in the beginning, or was it because it was the transition of what the upper office saw, like basically like Carson Wentz wasn't going to pan out, so do you think it was because they was trying to use him as Taysom Hill? Do you think that's the reason?
That might have a little bit to do with it, but I just think he wasn't ready as a drop back quarterback. He just wasn't there yet. He couldn't see the field. Just like we were talking today about Barnett. And now Barnett's got the reputation of being a hothead. You heard what happened in practice today. It turns out it wasn't what everybody thought it was, but he's got the reputation. Everybody remembers he's haunted by that sound clip of Nick Sirianni saying it's always something with that guy. Yeah. He's haunted by that sound clip. Jalen Hurts was haunted by what's your boy that was the Tampa Bay defensive coordinator? He can't read defenses.
Bowles. Yeah. No, not Todd Bowles. Yeah, Bowles.
Was it Todd Bowles? Yeah, Todd Bowles.
It was Bowles.
He can't read defenses. Now, in my opinion,
and he came out didn't he come out and straighten that statement though?
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, he came out and said, I wasn't really saying he couldn't read defenses.
He put it out in the air.
But guess what? Yeah. It was out in the ethos, and that's how everybody took it. But now, here's where the intangibles come into play. Because now, the type of person he is, the type of personality he is, the type of athlete and the work ethic that he has, this is where all of this comes into play. Because he's going to take what Bowles said, and he's not going to run from it. He's going to say, okay, I get it. He was right. I wasn't seeing the things the way I was supposed to be seeing, and I'm going to get better. And that's what he did. He didn't run from it. He took it on the chin, and he kept it moving.
He went in practice with Brady.
And that's my that's my argument. But that's my argument that I was making. I was making it to the point where he's seen his flaws. He's seen what he needed to work on, and he worked at it. So the work ethic that he put in from the year 2021 to last season, it's remarkable. Leah, the numbers might be a little close, but you got to see what he's done. You see what he did for Miles Sanders. He made running lanes for him, because he said, with Jalen Hurts as your quarterback, it was easy for me. All I had to do was follow Kelsey. Between Jalen Hurts and Kelsey, it made the year easy for Miles Sanders.
Yeah, but the whole Miles Sanders thing is I'm mad at Steichen about that, because Miles Sanders, I'm a Miles Sanders fan. I wish they would have resigned him.
I am too.
But in my opinion, Miles Sanders should have led the league in rushing. If you take the number of carries that Josh Jacobs have, and then you take the difference between Miles Sanders and Josh Jacobs, and then you multiply it by Miles Sanders yards per carry, Miles Sanders leads the league in rushing, or at least he's top 3. But how many games? That
wasn't Shane Steichen's offense.
Yeah, it wasn't his offense. But it was his problem though. Because how many games did you watch the first half? And you go, dang, Miles Sanders got 3 carries?
Now,
Miles Sanders got 1 carry?
Yeah. And not for nothing, we're saying that,
he didn't get enough.
And we got the best offense in the league.
But he fumbled though.
And you don't run behind him?
He did fumble.
That fumble made Steichen say he went to that.
And he had a knee.
He went to that.
People don't know that he had a knee injury too. He had a knee injury.
That knee injury was done. That knee injury was done. If you put your 2 feet on this field, I don't care about you coming out after the game telling me, I sprained my ankle 2 weeks ago and I'm suffering from. Just like I don't care that Quez Watkins came out and said, "Oh, in the Colts game, I had a shoulder." Guess what? If your shoulder's not good enough for you to perform to catch the ball, go sit down, talk to the trainer, let him rehab you, and get you back on the field in the best possible health. Because health is first. So don't put yourself in danger and then come tell me, well, I put myself in danger, but we lost. Okay, was the man behind you at 100% better than you at 60.
So the mentality, I understand what you're saying, but you gotta understand the mentality of Miles Sanders. In the beginning, or like probably in the middle of the season, he basically was saying that he still wanted to remain an Eagle. You know, this was a contract year for him, right? So yeah, he's trying to do anything that he can to be on the field. But if he can't produce, he's hurting the team. And it's half. Listen, it's half Miles Sanders, but it's also half the coaching staff for knowing that
when you in that meeting room, the rule is if you're running back, when that ball touches your hand, it's your responsibility. If you're a wide receiver, the rule is if that ball touches your hand, you got to
catch it.
Yeah, there are no excuses.
Absolutely.
None. If you win the game, that means you can play. There are zero excuses. If you can't play, don't step on the field. So I put that on Miles. Miles should have caught that ball, but it happened the way it happened. Everybody takes a big hit.
Marcus, it was a fumble.
It was a fumble.
Yeah.
He should have.
The ref said
two
no,
fumbles,
but it should have been two.
Exactly. So I don't. Again, I'm a fan of Miles.
Yeah.
I don't think they used him right, but it is what it is. But I'm not going to give him no excuses. He should have been better. That's why Gainwell played. Gainwell, and we'll get into that. I want to.
Okay, that's my question though.
Anyways,
do you think? Okay, he said knee injury. So is Gainwell a better piece at 100% than a so-called Miles Sanders at 60 at that point? If you want to say
at that point, knee
injured.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and he was on fire then too. He was playing really well.
Man.
He was
you
playing
look
really
at Gainwell all through his career, even going back to his college days, and he had Pollard and some other big names coming up his heels at Memphis.
Yep.
They could not take that kid off the field. Now you're talking about this year. I know it's not going to happen, but Kenny Gainwell was my preference to be running back number one. But Swift is just that good.
Too dynamic.
But Kenny Gainwell is the only running back that we have that's not coming off an injury. Trey Sermons is not going to start. Yeah. So you're talking about Swift had an injury, Penny had an injury, and Boston Scott had an injury. So
but Swift, when was that injury for Swift? October? Swift? He missed 3 games?
Yeah. Or no, he missed
3 games.
I thought he missed more than that.
No, he played 13 games. He started like 8. Because they started giving Marcus, what is his name? Williams. They started giving Williams the bulk of the carries. But I think he missed his. I think the last injury was October something of 2021.
Okay.
2022, my bad. So I mean,
I'm not gonna argue with it because Swift is nasty.
He is. I just want him to stay healthy. Both of them. I want Penny and him to be healthy because I want Penny down the stretch in the late games, bro. I want to pound you to sleep.
Just imagine a 22 package with Gainwell and Swift, and then you got Devontae and AJ on the field all at the same time. Now I'm looking more so on the running backs. Who do you have at linebacker that's going to cover Kenny Gainwell and DeAndre Swift? Somebody's going to mess up.
Yeah, absolutely.
You don't got a spot. It ain't too many teams that got 2 linebackers that's running 4 or 5.
Right.
So we win that chess match if Brian Johnson puts him in the right package.
And he did run a little bit of that at Florida, right? I seen a few where he was running a lot of two running back set.
Listen, man, I'm good. I saw that my light went out. I saw that Brian Johnson was running screenplays. I was like, I'm good. You ain't got to.
Yes, exactly. Thank you.
I'm good, bro.
Thank you.
Brandon Shady McCoy, Brian Westbrook offense back, please.
We need that. Now you're talking my language. You're talking my language.
But that right there leads to being 3.4% in the check down rate.
Right.
Yeah, man.
Right.
Here's a question. Since we were talking about running backs, how many do we keep in the 53?
Swift is not going nowhere. Gainwell's not going nowhere.
They saying Penny might. Everybody's saying Penny.
Penny's iffy. Trey Sermon's iffy. Boston Scott's not going nowhere. So you had room for one more running back.
Well, Penny might be for real because they said Penny hasn't had first team reps at all in the last 3 days.
0.
And not for nothing else, Penny might be a returner because Penny was a nasty returner in college.
That's nasty. That's nasty.
That much power at the return, you miss, he gone.
Yeah.
Don't sleep. They might put Miles Jack back in running back. Did you see him at UCLA? Oh my goodness. I didn't realize he was that fast.
And we need help back there.
I think we keep 4. I think we keep 4.
Okay.
I think we keep. I think we keep. Of course, Swift. I think we keep Penny. I think we keep Gainwell, of course. But that's the three-headed monster, and then also, of course, Boston Scott for the special teams. I think we keep 4. Trey Sermon is going to be if one of those guys get hurt. I think we're going to keep him on ice.
Do you think
until,
Do you think they'll flex?
Yeah.
Do you think they'll flex Boston Scott to a returner so they can use the spot for an extra running back?
It's possible.
Right. And also, you got to remember, Boston Scott.
And it's smart.
Boston Scott is not going to play kickoff coverage, punt coverage. Trey Sermons can, but Boston Scott can't do that. So he would only be either a kick returner or a punt returner.
Absolutely.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
So I could see them keeping 5 of them. And Trey Sermons is going to play special teams. Boston Scott isn't. Boston Scott will always be known as the giant killer. So when he play New York, he's going to play.
Mm-hmm.
He has some carries 2 times a year for sure.
Yeah, that's when he always eat. He always eat in the Giants game. So why not use him?
Why not?
I want to get into these practices though, man. How do y'all feel so far about practice? Especially today, offense didn't really, the first team offense not really have the best day, but the defense did show up somewhat. How do y'all feel about, heading towards Saturday, against the Ravens? How do y'all feel? Do y'all think that, it's a lot to work on? Do y'all think that, business is booming as usual? How do y'all feel?
Hey, before you get on the back of your bird, Hotta, Stu, don't come in here with that bull jump talking about bring no Zeke in and get rid of Penny. Get your ass out of here.
We ain't doing that.
I was on that boat before we got Penny.
I told you I don't want that.
Stu, my guy, but I don't agree with Zeke. I don't agree with Zeke at all.
I was on that. Hey, look, I was rowing the boat. I was rowing the boat for Zeke because we didn't have Penny or Swift.
Zeke gonna end up back in Dallas.
So I was like, bring Zeke in.
You're right, Marcus. Absolutely.
What?
He gonna end up back in Dallas. He gonna end up back in Dallas. I thought he was gonna go to
the
Patriots, but
he is.
And be on the lookout. Dallas got that kid. What's the kid that they drafted? That's
Deuce
Vaughn.
Yeah.
That is Darren Sproles again.
Yeah, that's nasty.
He is.
Can they use him right though?
Right. That's the question. That's the question.
I don't like throwing that in there, man.
Huh?
I don't like because of the height and speed. Yeah, I have seen him, but I'm just saying that I don't want to say that they're exposed. Like, they said certain small running backs are.
It's the way he moves,
but I don't think
he get low. He getting under defenders.
He get lost,
and that's cute.
When I see the video,
that's cute. That's cute and all, but if he don't know how, like Darren Sproles is the man. Like,
yeah, but what did we say? What did we say earlier when I was talking about Belichick? You got a guy that's good at a thing. Let him do that thing.
Absolutely.
And if Dallas does that, Deuce Vaughn could be very productive. Very similar look at Kavante Turpin.
Who's calling their plays though?
They got 2
plays.
They got 2 people.
McCarthy.
They got Mike, and then they got they brought in the offensive coordinator though. No, they brought in the offensive coordinator too to help him though.
For real?
Yeah, look it up.
That's the problem, and that's the criticism. Stu Vision says Zeke is a better pass protector. That's the problem he's having is pass protection. That he's a sacrifice because he's 5'4", 5'5". Who's he gonna block? He gonna get ran over.
Right.
Absolutely.
So they gotta put him in the pass timer. Is their OC?
Oh, Marty's kid.
But is he calling plays though? That's the question.
He's going to be assistant in calling plays. He will be helping.
Yeah.
He probably gonna be stepping in to call plays with Mike McCarthy in the deeper bullshit.
He probably gonna be in the booth.
Where he frustrated and he like, Mike, we need to go away from what you've been calling all game because we're getting stomped out.
Well, how do y'all feel? How do y'all feel going into the season with knowing what we know? Do you think that with the play calling, what we know about practice, do y'all think that we'll be ready to go week 1, or do y'all think it's going to take some time?
Nah, we'll be ready. The only thing I'm worried about going into the season, just like last year, I just hope we can tackle sooner than later than it was last year. But that's going to be across the league because not being able to hit in camp is a detriment. So
why did they start that?
I don't know. That's when they started them newer days, man. I don't call them 2 a days no more because we used to bang in camp, man. They don't do that no more because
they cut them out, right? They cut the 2 a days
concussions
too, right?
and see they got the halo helmets and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So the team that really gets the technique of tackling down, they kind of jump out the gate. So
and we used to get killed in practice, bro. I used to love to go to practice.
Hey, but to answer your question, DV, I feel like that offense is ready, dog. I feel like we gonna come out rolling with the uncertainty that we have at defense. That's what I'm kind of concerned about. I think that the defense might be slow going, but I think that offense is coming out lightning quick, and we about to start balling instantly on the Patriots. I really feel like if we get the ball first, we scoring on that first drive.
Hey, so look, DV, you know I'm very confident, but I'm gonna be a realist right now. I think the first half of our plays and shit like that is gonna run through Jalen. It's gonna be more of a setup. Hey, Jalen, look, this is what I'm looking to call, but these are the options. You go out there and call the best play for me and help me out. Let me see it, because there's nothing better than me and you being on the same page. Hey, I want to call this play. You think it's gonna work? You know, it's gonna be a lot of communication between Brian Johnson and Jalen Hurts on what works right now. You actually have the experience of Shane Steichen calling plays and you being on the field. Help me get to that same potential. So it's going to be a slow pace, but I think we're going to be scoring in that slow pace. It ain't going to look like last year where we was just like, first play, we coming out. We chunking it up. You know what I'm saying? We going down the field easy. I think the first 2 weeks is going to be a fill-out process.
Yeah.
I think, honest to God truth, on Hotta end, I think Brian Johnson has more adjusting right now to do than Sean Desai.
Well, I think he's been here. He's been here and built that cohesion.
Listen, I was finna say it, Brian Johnson is in-house. He's been in those rooms. He's been with Nick Sirianni. He's been with them. They have an expectation of what Brian Johnson should be able to accomplish on the field, because you were hired by us, you were promoted by us. We expect you to give us the product that we basically seen last year. Sean Desai, we coming in. If you mess up, if you look like Jonathan Gannon, we're not gonna be as upset. We made a bad decision. But when you promote in-house, I worked at my job for 7 years, right? When we took that grunt man and made him the foreman, they expected him to know everything because you done went through the rankings. We expect more from you than the guy we just hired last week. He just coming in. He just getting acclimated to us. We don't know him. We barely even talk to him on lunch break. We don't even give him a soda out of the cooler until the first week over with, because we don't know if you're coming back.
Yeah, but he got the key to the soda, so he could.
Right.
But here's one thing. Here's one thing you got to remember. We have 2 distinct advantages the Eagles team does right now. Number one, you got 6, 7 boys all from the same school.
Mm-hmm.
To add to that, the relationship between Brian Johnson and Jalen Hurts, I don't think you guys understand how much that helps in camp.
Absolutely.
When you go to camp, and I'll speak from experience, when you go to camp as a rookie and you know anybody in camp, whether it's somebody you played against in the same conference, if you're lucky enough to get somebody that y'all went to the same school or y'all went to the same high school, that familiarity is a godsend to relax you and have somebody that you're familiar with. It makes you play better.
Small amount of confidence.
You talking about you got Jalen Hurts got family. They basically family. Brian Johnson played for his dad. He spent time in his house. He knew Jalen when Jalen was a little boy. So Brian Johnson and Jalen Hurts are family. That relationship is going to come into play. So now you're talking about everybody in here knows if you got kids, you got unspoken communication, things of that nature. That helps them that much better. They got the same thing with all them Georgia boys.
That goes into my point, Marcus. I feel like the expectations for Brian is here because of what you have with Jalen. So if you mess up, we looking at you way harder than if Sean Desai come in and make a couple mistakes. We like, all right, you cool. Brian Johnson, we need you rolling because we brought you in because of what you supposedly bring to the table for Jalen. You worked out with him, you know him, you recruited him, you kind of come from the same basis of what he built on. We want you to make him feel comfortable because we know you can make him propel to where he's looking at. You coach with him. You train with him every summer since he was in 9th grade. I expect you to get better out of him than Shane Steichen.
You 100% right, bro. But don't forget that Philly is still a defensive town.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, right. This ain't got nothing to do with defense. Hey, that's where I'm going, bro. Wait.
I'm a defensive coordinator. Bro.
That's where I'm going with it, right? I'm gonna go towards what you were saying first before I even go towards my point. The thing with Brian Johnson and Jalen Hurts, it goes deeper than that. It's not even just about them. All Brian Johnson really got to do is adapt. He has to adapt and then tweak a little bit, but he don't have to do too much because the offense is already there, bro. Jalen Hurts got connections with Kelsey. He got connections with Lane Johnson, and he got connections with Jordan Mailata. If his line of defense is there, he could play in the rest. That's what I'm saying.
But that's what I'm saying to you, bro.
Listen.
If the offense look like trash, we gonna kill Brian Johnson way more than the side.
Offense is not gonna look like trash, dog. Yeah, that's not what we're talking about.
Y'all, you going left, bro. You're not going where I'm going right now, bro. You ain't listening to me, bro. I'm not saying it will.
I'm not going left.
I'm giving you the explanation. Brian Johnson come in and play bad or coach bad. We're gonna look at him in a different light than if Sean Desai come in and play bad. We brought you in 2 years ago. This is a planned out execution of the plan, right? We brought you in 2 years ago. We put you in here with Jalen Hurts. We knew what you had with Jalen Hurts. Now we have put you in the driver's seat to make Jalen Hurts be the best Jalen Hurts we need him to be. We just paid this man $255 million. Now we gave you the OC that I'm pretty sure Jalen Hurts asked for. I'm pretty sure he said, look, if you're going to bring somebody in, it might as well be Brian, man, if Shane gone. I know Brian. Me and him got camaraderie. If he come in and the offense ain't clicking, Hotta just came in and said, bro, I think we're going to be fire hot coming out the gate.
I believe that.
Hotta, we come out, you don't see none of those screens, none of those check downs, and Jalen Hurts in trouble. What you going to say? Man, what Brian Johnson doing? Sean Desai come out, you might be a little bit better than if Brian Johnson messing up because of what we have expected from him so far. Brian Johnson was hired like this. How long did it take us to get a DC?
I ask you a question.
But he was already here though as well. So you got to think about that.
That's what I'm saying. The expectations in my eyes. I might be wrong, but in my eyes.
I just need to ask a question. So being a Philadelphia Eagles fan, knowing the history of the Philadelphia Eagles and everything like that, let's go to last year. What was our biggest concern?
Jonathan Gannon.
Exactly.
Because Shane Steichen was performing to the top peak. He was barely making mistakes other than the running game in the first half.
Here's the question. Bro. Here's the question. Us as content creators of the Philadelphia Eagles, our number one concern was the scheme of Sean Desai. Everybody before training camp started, Sean Desai wasn't really talking like that. We need to hear from him. We need to see where his mindset is at. When they said, when he came out and said, hey, I want the opposing team to fill our defense. That made everybody feel decent or whatever like that, but we got to see it on the field. It's not about the offense. The only thing that was missing in the offense was the passing of the running back. They didn't really run that much with Miles Sanders or game.
Making my argument for me. You just listen to the confidence in your voice when you talked about the defense just now.
Listen to the defense, not the offense. You're talking about the offense.
No, the confidence in your voice about the offense was, man, we last year we wasn't even worried. Okay, so now if you come out and it looks like a weakness in the if the defense come out right now, right? What we gave up last year, 20 points a game, right? 20 points a game. You come out, he giving up 30, right? You can be like, Sean Desai get together. You're going to give him more time to get it together than if Brian Johnson come out and the first 3 weeks we can't put up points. We can't score. We putting up 10 points, 12 points last year. We putting up Washington Redskins numbers last year. It was the bottom of the league. We putting up 16, 17 points. He's not gonna have the time frame that Sean Desai gonna get. You're gonna make an excuse for him a little bit. You're gonna make an excuse for Sean Desai a little bit more than Brian Johnson because you expect the offense to look pearly. You expect them to come out hitting on all cylinders. We can look at any show man you did, DV, and every one of them you said I have no worries about the offense. So if the offense come out and look like a worry, I think Brian Johnson expectations are higher than Sean Desai.
Well, but also you got to remember last year they didn't start out great with the offense, especially throwing the ball.
No.
So I get what you're saying, and I don't necessarily disagree with you. I just happen to fall on the other side. We're a defensive town, and you're not going to, regardless of how good your offense is, you're not going to win games if you can't stop nobody. So for me,
exactly.
And plus, I'm giving the benefit of the doubt to Brian Johnson because he's been here, and I don't think he's going to change much of the scheme. I get what you're saying.
Nobody listen to my argument. Everybody make an argument for me. When somebody go back to actually want to listen to what I'm talking about, they'll hear what I actually said. Both of y'all saying the same thing I said.
Correct.
If you have confidence in Brian Johnson, and then he don't show up.
But for me, in my opinion, the defense matters more. Because let's say
that's not my argument though.
I get it, but for me, I fall on the defense. To me, it's more important you win championships with defense, not offense.
Mm-hmm.
Look at Baltimore a couple years back with what Ray Lewis and them did. The defense did it, not the offense. The offense was just good enough. Now you are correct. If Jalen Hurts is not playing at an optimal level, absolutely Brian Johnson is going to catch hell.
Mm-hmm.
But you can still have if the defense is not playing well, it's all a defense. We are a defensive town, and it starts and ends. And as much crap as we gave Jonathan Gannon last year, we still looked at the defense. Jalen Hurts was just icing on the cake.
The number one thing that every Eagles fan agree on, besides slippery field or anything like that, whatever the case may be, is the second half defense of Jonathan Gannon. So this is what we're running with. It's going to be harder for Desai because, like I said, Brian Johnson only had to do is tweak a little bit of things. He got the running backs. He has the running backs put in place to be all around the field to the point where in the Super Bowl, if we have this type of scheme with the running backs and everything like that, we don't lose that Super Bowl because time management. The defense didn't show up. So now we're looking at it as, like the first thing we're going to say, if the defense don't show up and they doing the same thing as a Jonathan Gannon type defense, is, what is Sean Desai doing? He has more on his plate. We have high standards in the city for these rookies, the veterans we brought back, and everything. Yes, you can sit up there and say we don't have the right personnel in certain areas right now, but at the same time, I think that Sean Desai has a lot on his plate than Brian Johnson. Brian Johnson, all he has to do is tweak a little bit of things. Like you said, he's been here in the locker rooms. Yes, he's going to take some things that Shane Steichen did, but also he's going to take some things also that Jalen Hurts, because I've seen times where Jalen Hurts changed the play up. I've seen times where Jalen Hurts wasn't supposed to keep the ball. He kept the ball. I've seen those type of things in Jalen Hurts. So he's going to take things that Jalen Hurts is comfortable with and apply it to the whole team. And now with the addition of Swift, Penny, Gainwell coming along, because now it's a fire under him because they brought in 2 extra backs and things like that. It's going to make Jalen Hurts' life a lot easier. So he's going to play against that, period. And if he got to go and peel back to last season, then he'd be willing to do that. But I don't think it's going to be an adjustment, of course, because we didn't have that trust in the running backs. The running backs helps the quarterback. The defense is where we're going to be at, because the defense is going to give us short field advantage. The defense is going to be able to make those stops when we're up to win those ball games. Yes, I'm with Marcus here. Throughout the season, Jonathan Gannon's scheme worked until it mattered. And when it mattered, he choked. And this is what the city of Philadelphia is going to look at. This is what probably the organization, they're not going to come out and tell you that, but maybe they coming out and say, yo, we got to get better on defense. And this is why the hire of Sean Desai was big, because Sean Desai is supposed to put this thing together. Period. I don't think.
Thank you, Jigga. Thank you, Jigga. You're the only person that heard anything I said, bro. I've been up here talking, bro. I never said Sean Desai, we not a defensive town. I just specifically said the expectations for Brian Johnson coming into an offense that you expect to be flawless and screwing it up is we will hold him to a higher standard than Sean Desai coming in on a defense where we have questions ourselves. How many questions? Hold on, right now, it's three of y'all. It's three of y'all. How many of y'all got questions on offense? What's your questions on offense other than running back?
I will say I disagree with that. That's all.
Yeah. How is it a disagreement? How is it a disagreement? Do you or do you not? All three of y'all believe the offense should be perfect.
Damn, I do, but you don't have to.
Nobody's saying.
I think it's going to be really good. It's going to be just really good. I don't think it's going to be perfect.
It's not going to be perfect.
It's still going to be mistakes.
But y'all are more hyped on Brian Johnson being able to perfect and perform than right now than you haven't decided, right or wrong.
I'm just comfortable. I feel comfortable with Brian Johnson.
Okay. Here's my reason why. Because I know what we have on offense. Period. Yes, we have talented players on defense, but this thing has to be put together by Sean Desai. Brian Johnson has a little bit of wiggle room for error because of the experience that we have as an offense. All we added was the running backs and Tyler Steen if he gets in the game, but all we added was the running backs.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that I don't hear you. I do. I'm listening to what you're saying, but I'm saying that
I'm gonna land the plane. How you feel about the offense?
I feel comfortable with the offense. I feel good. I feel like we're gonna rock and roll instantly. I mean, it may be a few hiccups here and there, but I think that we're gonna be good.
Marcus, how do you feel about our offense?
Oh, I think the offense is great.
Okay.
I don't think we're gonna have any problems. And like I said, Brian Johnson, he pretty much ran the offense with Shane Steichen, so he knows what to do. He's going to make a couple alterations.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And we're going to keep cruising. Just like the defense is how many sacks is Hassan Reddick going to get? How many sacks is Nolan Smith going to get? What you going to do with that vaunted Georgia defense and all them Georgia boys we got in the middle and the Jalen Carter that slipped to us that should have been the number one pick out the draft? Because you got that type of pressure on the defense. So while I do not disagree with what you're saying, but it's my opinion.
It's all right. It's cool.
But it's cool. No,
I'm cool with people disagreeing with me. I'm cool.
I agree with what you're saying, but my opinion is the defense matters more, and there's more pressure.
I never said that, but that's what you're arguing with. That I never said. I never said the defense don't matter more. I played football my whole life. I am a free safety. Obviously, mentally, defense matter more. But I'm telling you like this, like.
However you
want to feel, I feel like Brian Johnson should look better than Sean Desai coming in week 1.
Okay.
If he doesn't, I feel like I'm gonna look at Brian Johnson with more questions than Sean Desai.
Here's what I think. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. If Brian Johnson is not performing, he gonna catch hell. If Sean Desai is not performing, he's gonna catch hell.
Yeah,
I don't think it matters which way you look at it.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, because that's just the type of city we are.
If we putting up 28 and 30 points a game and we still losing, Sean Desai gonna catch hell. If our defense is balling, but Jalen Hurts is not moving the ball, Brian Johnson is gonna catch hell. It doesn't matter which way you look. Somebody gonna catch it. I don't think it's gonna be either way you slice it. If Sean Desai is looking god awful, it's gonna seem like he was the worst decision in the world. If Brian Johnson is looking god awful, it's going to look like he was the worst decision in the world because that's how the Philly mindset is. That's how the fandom does. If they see they're gonna go after him. They're gonna give him the business. He ain't gonna get no standing ovation. You know what I'm saying?
I think it's more so. Hold on. Shout out to Michael Lorenzen that just threw a no hitter for the Phillies.
Oh yeah.
Oh, cool.
That's what's up.
But my whole thing is this, right? I think that it's more so that I'm more confident in the offense of what they can do than the defense. That's basically all to it. So when the defense, we all said defense win championships, defense win big games. I think that, I'm just on record thinking that, defense is going to be our way of getting to where we got to get to. We can have a great offense. We had 2,000-yard receivers. We had an all-pro MVP runner-up quarterback. But at the end of the day, and we had arguably the best line in NFL offense. I'm just saying that Brian Johnson, all he has to do is tweak a little things. He could get on a podium if he had a bad game and say, hey, we're going to correct things. But Sean Desai, if he has a bad game, it's going to be like, hey, I just got to figure it out. And nobody's going to want to hear that shit.
We let Jonathan Gannon go a whole year where he looked like a bum, and then he came out at the end of the year and said, oh, I don't have the right talent. We gave him a year.
Because we were winning with the formula of the second quarter.
We were 9-8.
Listen.
We were 9-8.
No, I'm not talking about that.
That's what I'm talking about. We were 9-8.
I'm talking about last year.
We gave him a chance, though. I'm just saying, you said he's not going to get a chance. We gave Jonathan Gannon a chance. He got killed last year, and he looked good.
Well, he was better last year.
Because we expected him to improve a lot better.
The year before he wasn't good. But he was better last year.
Yeah. But that 9-8 year, we gave him a chance. We didn't kill him.
He was better because of the personnel. His argument that year when he was 9-8 was that he didn't have the players. He had fucking Alex Singleton. Now we got TJ Edwards. We got Kazir White. We got guys.
That's because
I know.
He made
what I'm saying, because who else you gonna get? I'd rather go to Family Dollar than whatever. Anyway, I'm just saying that. Long story short, I just think that Jonathan Gannon had the personnel last year. He was running similar schemes. They hired the Vic Fangio situation, and he went away from it, especially in the Super Bowl. I seen the play calls. He went away from it. He did the Jonathan Gannon thing, and however it went down, because we could only go by Twitter and news that we hear, the reports, however everything went down. That says a lot about what the team thought about Jonathan Gannon. Now Shane Steichen, I don't know what went down with that, because I think Jalen Hurts had a hell of his game. I think the offense had a hell of a game besides not utilizing the running game. And I think that they try to utilize the running game more this season, and also they want that defense to be able to hold it down, because down has people say that we got a tougher schedule. So now we got to have that defense intact. And this is why I'm siding with the defense more. I do hear your point, but at the same time that I just think that defense matters more this year.
I never said about defense mattering or offense mattering. Obviously, defense win championships and offense sell tickets. I know that. I never said that.
Basically, talk about how we gonna view the coach,
the coaching, because Brian Johnson was here. Right. He has a camaraderie. I ain't talking about fans. I'm talking about the people he's sitting in the office with. Bro, we brought you up. We hired you. Sean Desai wasn't even the first option. He wasn't even supposed to. If we had to pick, Vic Fangio would not be in Miami, and then I wouldn't have this argument, because that would have been the guy we really wanted, and he would have got a pass.
But it still doesn't matter. Whoever
Buddy Ryan got a pass, and he didn't do nothing.
Yeah,
so why can't
that was another era ago. But at the end of the day, when whatever coordinator is not getting it done, he gonna catch the business. He gonna catch it.
That's what I'm saying.
I agree with that.
So
I agree with that too.
But I agree with
that too. I
understand that you're not saying that.
If both of y'all come out and fail, obviously we're gonna kill both of y'all.
Right, exactly.
I'm just looking at it as Sean Desai got a little bit longer of a leash than Brian Johnson in my eyes. I'm done. That's it.
So he
could come out and go 1-3 with the offense playing bad, and they'll give him just they'll if the offense looking good, Sean Desai messing up. Well, Sean Desai needs to figure out what's going on the defense, and then y'all give him an opportunity to go fix it. Brian Johnson come out 1-3, and we looking bad. Well, why did they bring him up from quarterback coach? He has all this Jalen Hurts experience, but Jalen Hurts doesn't look good with him. They might have should have kept Shane Steichen. It's a whole circle different.
Yeah, but
we would have kept Shane Steichen, but he had an opportunity.
Same argument.
I'm not saying that we could have, but media.
Yeah.
They should have figured out how to keep Shane Steichen to bring somebody in with more experience.
Yeah.
Sean Desai got experience. You're gonna give him the chance to fix it. Hey, can he fix it? We seen him in Chicago with no talent. Fix it. They got rid of Khalil Mack and he fixed it.
Where was Sean Desai before Chicago?
He was
in Seattle, wasn't he?
No, that's after.
Seattle.
That's after.
Okay.
That's after.
Yeah.
That's
I was after.
Before Chicago, he was a quality guy.
Exactly. My point is that you can say the same thing about Brian Johnson. Brian Johnson is young. He's only 36, but he's been coaching since he was 21.
But how many coordinator jobs has he had?
This is
two where he actually called all the plays.
Right.
This will be his third. This will be his third one. This will be his third where he calls all the plays.
I got full confidence in both of them. But if one of them slip up, they're gonna catch hell.
No, I'm not gonna listen, Marcus. I'm not gonna give either one of them a slack. Never. No, just in my eyes, I would look at Sean Desai and say, okay, well, he don't know the players. Man, I'm gonna give him an extra week. I'll give him an extra week. Brian Johnson, you knew everybody in that locker room other than DeAndre Swift and Rashad Penny. You had camaraderie, you had chemistry with these guys. Why is what you're doing not working? Why is it not instantly clicking? Because you were here, so you know the formula of what won last year.
And I totally understand that.
And you just told me, listen, and then Marcus just told me you were in there formulating game plans. Why does the game plan look messed up now? Now that you're in control, why does so were you just there, or was it Shane Steichen? It's all those questions that come in. Hold up,
DV. Hey, I got to slide real quick. I got to pick my son up. So look, man, I appreciate y'all, man.
Peace, man.
Appreciate y'all.
Yes,
until the next time, man.
All right, man. Here's my thought about that. Right, what you just said. Marcus actually came out and said this. Defense adjusts to what you did last season.
Mm-hmm.
How do you no, my question to you is, how do you feel about Brian Johnson being able to adjust to what we did last season?
I'm gonna go off what somebody told me. Like, there's no film on Brian Johnson and what he's gonna do in the game. You know the basis of what they want to run is RPO. They know it's RPO. Mm-hmm. Not, I mean, we ran mostly RPO. You know it's RPO, but there's no film on Brian Johnson calling a game in the NFL.
Okay.
Look at what you think is coming. Look at how teams beat you last year, and I just want you to build on that. I want you to formulate a game plan that works for you. That you feel like if they bring this, if they bring that, they bring this, I can get out of it. You know what I'm saying? Because to me, I really feel like yes, they can key, but we all agree that Jalen Hurts went in, worked hard, he's getting better, right? He could be a different quarterback next year. He could be the guy with 20 carries and 600 attempts at quarterback. I don't think he will. No, but I think Brian Johnson will formulate a plan to make it look a little bit better on his half of what he is comfortable calling. And that's
I agree 100%.
That's all I can ask for Brian Johnson to do.
It wasn't broken, so there's not much to fix. But
Right.
there are some alterations that need to be made. And I made a joke earlier, but I was dead serious. The fact that he was running screenplays and things of that nature makes me think he's making the logic, the common sense decisions that weren't being made last year as good as Shane Steichen was. And I keep saying the same joke. If I see that freaking trips left, trips right, wide receiver screen, I'm going to pull what little hair I got out because everybody knows that's coming. Stuff like that will still happen. But to your point, he doesn't have much to do. He just needs to make some alterations. I just think he needs to run the ball more. Now, if he doesn't run the ball behind the line that we got and we still go back to the same old RPOs, yeah, I'm going to be pissed. But if I don't see Hassan Reddick with 6 sacks by the 5th or 6th game, and they're dropping him back into coverage, I'm going to be pissed with Sean Desai. Like, for the same reasons. What are you doing? You got somebody that's good at what he does, and you're not using him at his best. So I look at it even. You got to use your pieces on the board the right way. I trust that Brian Johnson is going to do that. I trust that Sean Desai is going to do that. But again, to your point, I haven't seen anything. I got more tape on Sean Desai than I do on Brian Johnson, and that's a benefit. That could be a benefit and a boon if you look at it, because you don't know what he's going to do. So
yeah,
that works to our advantage until it doesn't. So, but I think we're going to be good. I'm really hoping that we get into that screen game and we just run the ball with the running backs more. That's the only thing I want. That'll alleviate so much pressure off of Jalen Hurts, and I think I will trust that Sean Desai is going to figure out something to do with a 4-3 defensive end. You find a way to use that kid. You find a way to use Jalen Carter. I'm tired of hearing all that Jalen Carter had flash plays in practice and bull rushing people. That's great in practice. Let me see him do it in a game. Let me see Jordan Davis get off the ball at 340 pounds in a game. Let me see how all of this stuff manifests. And then once you figure out what you get, let's see how we adjust and keep this ball rolling that we got from the momentum of last year.
Hey, somebody just texted me, right, about my argument, and they said I should have been more precise. He said he understood where I was going with the argument. Okay, so for me, Sean Desai, in opinion, to him, he said the reason he would go with Sean Desai having more of a leash, Sean Desai has more unproven pieces on his defense than Brian Johnson is working with on the offense. He said he would give Sean Desai more of a leash because you have to get these rookies in performance peak. But he said dudes like Hassan Reddick, dudes like Josh Sweat, Jordan Davis, Brandon, these dudes should look perfect. The only people you should look at and say, okay, I understand why they're not working is the younger guys. So my argument might have been a little off because I tried to, just say, hey, he need to perform better. He's like, look, he got more pieces on that end. Because we got 2 pieces on offense?
No, I disagree.
Guard and running back?
I think the point you was trying to make, I understood the point perfectly. You're trying to say who's got the most pressure on them if they don't perform.
I don't think it's pressure though, because both of them gonna get a leash. We're not gonna cut. If Sean Desai come out, the only way we don't cut him is if we looking crazy, like people blowing us out by 40.
So
30.
that's why I say it doesn't.
But if you're losing games by 3, he's not getting killed.
At the end of the day, and maybe I got my player's hat on. When you in that locker room or you in that meeting room and your coach is calling some bullshit, that is the worst feeling in the world. I don't think that's gonna happen. But so to me, that's equal pressure on both sides.
Okay, but what happens when you calling good players, they're just not working out in the manner you expect them to because of people like a Nolan Smith or Jalen Carter or Keely Ringo just being young and not being in place?
Well, then you just answered your own question. That's a rookie being a rookie. Then it goes to, well, you got to get these rookies together. He's a first-round draft pick. Were they saying the same thing about Derek Barnett? He was a first-round draft pick that broke Reggie White's record at Tennessee. He had a lot of problems coming out. What happened to him?
He got a pass until a couple of years ago.
Not really. They expected, because I remember when he first, at the end of that first year, they expected more out of him.
He got hurt, right?
Wasn't his first year 2017?
Super Bowl.
Right. And even with those expectations, he still made a play in the Super Bowl. So
that fumble recovery got him an extra contract.
Absolutely. But he's a first round pick, and for whatever reason, the people that don't like, Derek Barnett, he ain't a bust. He's still a good player.
I would say he a bust.
I wouldn't. Look at the stats. People used to call my boy Mike Mamula a bust. Look at Mike Mamula's stats. He did not live up to his draft status, but he wasn't a bust. Derek Barnett is in the same boat. And Derek Barnett is still young. So for us, he's been a good player. He hasn't been a first round player. That's the problem. Yeah. And then on top of that, like I said earlier, he's haunted by that sound clip of Nick Sirianni saying, there's always something with that guy. It's always that guy. So he hasn't lived that down. Very similar to Nelson Aguilar when he dropped that ball, and then they had T-shirts and stuff made. Nelson Aguilar balled for us. He just had a stretch very similar to Quez Watkins that he's got to get through. But you look at what Quez Watkins is doing now. Quez Watkins, for all the reports I've been reading, has been having a great camp. Yeah. So I'm expecting him to be the number 3 receiver. I don't see why we should give up on a 6'4" 4.3 speed wide receiver that can take the top off. So whatever he did last year, to me, don't matter. Only thing that matters is what's going to happen going forward. Now, when we get to that point in some game and we go deep to him, if he doesn't catch the ball, he is going to catch hell. Rightfully so. Then you make the move. And that goes across the board. Anybody in any position, if you want on that field, your expectation at the base level is to make the play when it's your opportunity. If you can't get that, get him out of there. That is my one worry about Sirianni, because Sirianni is so loyal. Is he going to pull somebody because he ain't getting it done? Like a Belichick would, like a Parcells would, like a Jimmy Johnson would. But looking at our team as they exist right now, offense across the board, we are golden. We got weapons at every position, every receiver, tight end, all of our running backs, and the quarterback. Defense, in my opinion, our only X factor is what they're going to do with the linebacker position. And I still think Christian Ellis is going to come out and ball. N'Kobe Dean is going to do what he's supposed to do, but I think Christian Ellis is going to be the one that's going to raise the eyebrows this year.
Hey, Drew, I was speaking from a staff standpoint, because us as fans and media, you don't get no pass. But staff, I was speaking from a inside the locker room, inside the house type deal, not us. Because fans, he come out there and go 2 weeks without a sack. We gonna say the fire decide.
Gonna be like, what are you doing?
Y'all need somebody else in here. Y'all need to go get Jonathan Gannon back in the house.
They're gonna be like, you better do something. Get somebody, do something, try something different. Or you blitz. What was the thing last year? Seth Joyner wanted everybody blitzing. And Seth is the big brother.
He did it in the Super Bowl.
Right.
What happened?
Exactly.
2 touchdowns.
Mm-hmm. It's not that simple. It's not that simple. So I hope that he can figure it out. I don't see a reason why he shouldn't. Let me say it like that. But
yeah, because we talk about the young guys that's on defense, but at the same time, I really believe that these young guys has championship aspirations already because they've been there in a collegiate. So we're trying to, manifest that into the National Football League, and trying to kind of mask it with the vets that we already brought back and everything like that. But these guys is what, number 1, number 2, number 3 draft round draft picks that we're going to actually start. I mean,
who
the Jalen Carters, the Jordan Davises, the N'Kobe Deans, that's probably about it, because as it shows, it might be just the safeties probably already locked, because they've been starting Terrell Edmonds in camp, so we're trying to see where it goes with that.
They had about the equal amount of shots, him and Kavon.
But Kavon been in the league. Kavon been in the league. Josh Jobe been in the league. I'm talking about the young guys that we brought in.
We seen Kavon. Jesus, I need him.
I know we see
He gonna
Kavon.
be the starter, boy. I need him. I need something totally different.
I know.
Last year.
I know we see Kavon, but
here's the thing with the reports coming out of camp.
Mm-hmm.
Every year, as a coach, your job is on the line. So if you put somebody in there that ain't getting it done, and you vouch for that player, your job is on the line. You can be promoted to fan real quick. So I don't think that they would say that if they didn't mean it, because those are the guys that are running what they running, and they go in the film and they watch it. So when they say that, what that means to me is he is in his 3rd year, Kavon Wallace?
Yeah.
So he's been here long enough to understand what's going on.
This will be his 4th year. This will be his 4th.
Now he's starting to get it. So now he's not thinking He understands what's going on. The light clicked on. Same thing with Josh Jobe. Now you look at last year when we had to deal with the Josiah Scott experience. You saw what that was in the beginning. It wasn't pretty. He got better at the end because he wasn't thinking so much. So the thinking part of it, that's why Sidney Brown ain't a starter. He's still a rookie. Still got a lot to learn. So we got young depth in the secondary. On defense, the linebackers is the X factor. That's where we are with it.
Well, from what I'm hearing, I don't know. They saying the Kobe Dean, all this. I hear people. I don't know.
Well,
I'm tired of giving my opinion on this shit because it's really starting to get aggravating. Like, I can't hear, I can't see anything. So it's like you asking me questions, I can't answer them. I don't know what the Kobe Dean is exactly doing. All I can do is what ESP and Jeff Kerr say.
That's it.
Here's the question. But here's the question though. Here's the question that for both of you guys. Do you think Kobe Dean, regardless of the ankle injury right now, do you think that he's the guy to be calling that play in the center? Do you think that we could go a full 17 game season with Kobe Dean calling the plays in the center? Because a lot of people are not high on him. I think that we could. Honestly, the only thing that actually gets me is the injuries. That's it. But I think that he could because I
hope he's not snake bitten because anybody can get injured. But as far as him making plays, in my opinion, he showed me enough in the snaps that he got in that he has a nose for the ball. And the one thing you got to remember about small players, especially small people like him that played in the SEC. Don't think for a minute that at some point in his past, somebody told him he was way too small to play linebacker in the SEC. And what does he do? He captains the best defense in the country for 2 years in a row and wins 2 national championships. Ain't nobody going to look at Reed Blankenship. How is Reed Blankenship playing so well and he didn't get drafted? He's the same Reed Blankenship that was playing in college. What did everybody miss? At the end of the day, a lot of these guys, you won't know it until you know it. You're not going to see it until you see it. So until then, that's why I go back to I don't make an opinion on our team until we at least get to week 3. Week 3. That means everybody's got tape on you. That means whoever you're playing can formulate a game plan. Okay, how do we stop A.J. Brown? How do we stop DeAndre Swift? How do we stop the RPO? Because now they have tape. Games 1 and 2, you're guessing. Game 3 and 4, now you got something, and now you can watch tape. You can kind of cross-reference to what they did last year, and you formulate a game plan. Other than that, you got to watch, see what happens, and then you can say, Sidney Brown, he ain't ready. He ain't ready. Brian Johnson, he got to do a better job. Sean Desai, you better come up with something. But to your point, man, you don't see it until you see it. You get sick of. That's why I hate OTAs. Everybody gets so hyped with OTAs, and I'm like, if I see another picture and another caption that said Jalen Hurts was throwing dimes in practice, he wasn't throwing dimes. He was warming his arm up and threw a 20-yard ball, and you overblow it. It's just practice.
Right.
It's just practice. This week, I really want to see how many snaps is Nakobe Dean going to get. How many snaps is Miles Jack and Cunningham and Sidney Brown and Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter, Nolan Smith. How many snaps are they going to get? Because now you'll be able to see what they're going to do.
Right.
Hey, Coles, bow your head when you come in this room with us, man. Don't come in here with that.
I don't even want to talk.
Don't come in here with that bull.
I don't even want to talk to him. I don't even want to talk to him, man. We talking
Go worry about Shady being at your training camp or Dak throwing interceptions or something. Don't come over here mess with us.
Yo, did you see that,
no,
man?
They not.
Them people went nuts about that. I was like,
they looking for something to get their eyes off Dak throwing these interceptions.
Yeah, I saw that.
Hey, listen, DV, you know what's really funny? You know Shady didn't make it to the practice, right? And then this man turn around and throw. He didn't make it to the actual practice, like when they on the field. Yeah. And then Dak go out there and throw 3 interceptions in the first six plays.
That's what it was. Oof.
I think he threw 2 to Diggs, and then he threw 1 to the rookie.
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah.
Even with the Cowboys, it don't matter. That's practice, man. It don't matter.
It don't matter. It don't matter. But don't
No,
you know, to them, they'll say, "Oh man, that Jalen Hurts threw 2 interceptions. Man, he gonna throw 30 this interception."
Man,
so here's the thing about Cowboys fans. So what I do is basically, you know, they be like, "Oh, y'all can't see y'all practices and things like that." So they always on the Eagles, you know, practice. They follow ESP, they follow these guys, but I'm like, y'all Cowboys fans, why are y'all not concerned about what's going on over there? So when I pointed out, now I'm too concerned about their practices. I'm like, no, this is what came up on Bleacher Report. He had 3 interceptions. He's not, you know, doing well. Oh, he had 40 touchdowns though. He throws touchdowns too. And I'm like, okay, that's fine because he's a quarterback. That's what he's supposed to do. It's practice. But at the same time, if he's still making these mental mistakes, that should be a concern, especially if y'all not reaching the pinnacle of where y'all trying to get to, you know, for the past almost 30 years. Like, come on. So now I'm the bad guy for pointing it out. That's what it is. And that's okay.
They don't want us to say nothing about them. We don't want them to say nothing about us. It is what it is. We'll see you whenever we play them.
Marcus, I'm cool with them saying stuff. It's when they get outlandish.
They always get.
Oh my!
I said there's nothing you are gonna do, or there's nothing you are gonna say that's gonna change their mind. There isn't. So basically, it's just a bunch of noise just bouncing off each other. So I'm like, y'all can go ahead with that. I'll see you when we see.
It would have more weight if you hadn't been telling me the same thing for 30 years. I mean, shit.
We not. That's what I'm gonna go at them because that's what we play.
I don't even feel like doing it again. They've been doing it so much.
Did you hear my rules about the Cowboys fans? My particular rules about the Cowboy fans.
What is that?
If you are not old enough to have seen Troy Aikman play in person, I don't want to hear from you.
Cole said he's seen 3 of them.
Then fine, he can talk all the smack because he saw it. But if you one of these young fans that never seen Troy Aikman play, the only thing you know about Troy Aikman is he's in the broadcast booth. If you never saw him play, if you never saw Emmitt Smith run with a separated shoulder, I ain't trying to hear you right now because your last Super Bowl tape is on VHS. Stop playing with me.
Oh, you talking about the ones that inherit the Super Bowls and was like they was picking a team and it was like, oh, they got 5. I'm going there. That's a team I like.
There is a reason they call the Cowboys America's team. Because shout out to Jerry Jones. He had the marketing game on lock before anybody else did. Way back in the 70s, you knew it was Roger Staubach. And then when they had that rough patch, and then all of a sudden Troy Aikman comes out of UCLA, and he was god awful his rookie year. And then they got Larry Allen, and then they got Emmett, and then they put some people together, and all of a sudden somebody named the Playmaker showed up, and all hell broke loose. And couldn't nobody stop it. And think about it. Think about it like this. Most people in this era of football don't really understand how hated the Cowboys are. They only know how bad they hate the Patriots. And why do they hate the Patriots? Because everybody got sick of Tom Brady winning. It's the same way. Because I'm 53. In the 70s, the Cowboys were the good guys. The Steelers were the bad guys.
Mm-hmm.
The Steelers, everybody wanted the Cowboys to beat the Steelers because the Steelers had already won 4 Super Bowls. So then it switched. So everything goes in cycles and goes in waves and all that kind of stuff. So it's, let them talk, they talk. We'll see them when we see them when that game week comes around because it's going to get loud again.
Well, they're going to hide then. You won't even see them. They'll be invisible shadows then.
Oh no, they'll be out unless they lose.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. As soon as it's over, you gonna
unless they lose.
You're gonna be hitting them up. What's up, bro? What happened? Oh man, man. I only want to talk about it. No, you don't want to talk about it. We talked about it for 5 months when I didn't want to talk about it. We're talking about it.
It's only a couple of Cowboy fans. This one guy I went on his podcast. His name is Mako, and I will go on with him again because he's a Cowboys fan, but he's real with it. He knows when they suck. He'll give us our props. He'll talk smack when it's time for him to talk smack. He's real with it, and I can deal with that. But some people take it over the top, then they get toxic with it, I'm like, I ain't got time for all of that. I ain't gonna convince you. I ain't gonna convince you of nothing. So, it is what it is. So
anybody in this division, it ain't no talking with them. Ain't no conversation. If you a Cowboy, Commander, or a Giant, having conversations with them as an Eagle fan is impossible.
I saw one YouTube content creators last year. I don't remember the name of it. It's 4 of them, but was it the one Lord Bro?
Oh yeah, you talk about the Super Friends.
The Super Friends, and the dude from the Commanders, he was like, "Yeah, we suck, right?" Like he was taking it hard, and he had nowhere to go. It was so funny.
Hey, what made me laugh, Marcus? If you watched the year before, right, when the Giants were horrible, the one Giant fan, he was just like, "Oh, we're gonna be horrible. We're gonna be bad," and then you go watch it now, right? He's like, last year right before the playoffs, he's like, "Oh, we're gonna stomp you out. We're going to the Super Bowl." It's like, did you really go from being mediocre to mediocre, and then you're more hype? I didn't get it. I don't understand.
What they do. You lock on to anything good. I don't know why they thought that all of a sudden, because Daniel Jones started playing a little bit better at the end, that all of a sudden they were just gonna make this long run in the playoffs. Like that ain't gonna happen. Like,
hey, Cole, if you talking about the conversation, the only time me and you ever had a sensible conversation was not on camera. It was not on X. It was on this.
Yeah,
because nobody else could hear it. When we get on these apps, you change. You turn into a fan, not just a fan. I ain't gonna call you a fanboy because that's a little disrespectful. But you turn into a fan man. You turn into a fan man immediately.
You talking about me?
No, Cole's Cowboy. I'm talking to my homeboy.
Cole's Cowboys. Yeah,
you seen him on Twitter. Yeah. You seen him on X.
Yeah,
they here get mad at me when I jump on there and be like, "Oh, bro, why you do that?" Because you trolling my team. We run a show together. I can't let you do this. I can't let you do it. You're making life hard for me.
It's all good, man. It's all in fun. Talk your talk right now, because when the smoke comes, we'll see what's what. We'll see what's what.
I ain't worried about Coles, man.
I gotta get out of here, fellas. My wife.
Yes, sir.
You're going. Go do your thing, man.
Y'all. We will do this again. I will be on the Twitter rooms and all that kind of stuff, because I'm busy during the day. But I like tuning into that, man, because you get a lot of good stuff out of that. They do get overboard on that too, but it's still fun, man. But listen, hit me up again if I can do it. I will. And let's keep this thing growing, fellas. I appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
All right. Y'all have a good one.
All right, man. You too, man. But yeah, man, I'm not worried about no damn Coles, man. Like, my trolling comes towards Coles, and then the other Cowboys fans come in and try to back him up. And I'm like, yo, y'all don't even know what the hell we talking about. Oh, that's not all Cowboys fans that worried about y'all. Y'all worried about us, bro. You gotta worry about us. We number one in the NFC. We won the NFC East title. We won these things to the point where you got to worry about us. We are somebody that y'all trying to reach now for this upcoming year. Yeah, it could change. Oh, y'all could say no team has done it 2 years in a row. The last team that done it was the Eagles. So this is what's going to happen. What's going to happen is we're going to win the NFC East again.
Hey, listen, bro. Week 9 and whatever else we play, right? We're gonna sweep you. What jersey you want? I'm gonna personally get it sent to your house because you're gonna rock this Eagle jersey. You're gonna rock this Eagle jersey, Cole. When we sweep
come on, bro.
What Miss Ash said, those spaces be ghetto.
It is. It's ghetto as hell. It's ghetto as hell, bro. Like sometimes I'll be in there, Joe. Like I'll be seeing you or Coles or whoever on, and I'll just be listening, and they be like, just saying outlandish shit, and I'm like, yo, it's very, very ghetto, man. Like, yo,
talk. If you ever watch, right? I'll be sitting down there with you, and they say Eagle. I instantly hit the button. Like, I want to talk now. I ain't want to talk for 2 hours. I've been sitting here 2.5 hours. Come on, let me in. He said I got a Reggie White jersey.
It's showing your age, bro.
So you was a low key Eagle? You didn't want to tell us?
He is. That you heard him sing "Fly Eagles Fly"?
I heard
that
it.
boy did the whole joint. Fly
No
Eagles
mess
Fly. He
up.
was about to
He
flap
didn't
his
mess up
wings.
with nothing.
No, he didn't until the end. He want to cough. No, it's not. No, you was happy. You had a smile. You looked like you was about to get on the world best roller coaster. Like you was happy as hell, bro.
Ash, them
he was happy as hell to see that.
People in those spaces, and then Cole's. Oh man, being in the spaces with him, when we was running that space. But them people was in that. Yeah, you should have been there, DV. That was the wildest space I've ever been in, bro. Like wildest space I've ever been in. Like when I tell you, it was NFC East, so it was just us. It was just like Eagles, Cowboys, Commanders, Giants. When I tell you, I had to hit the mute button more than I've ever had to hit the mute button before to get people to calm down because it was going berserk. You had Daniel Jones versus Sam Howell, bro. Just like it seemed like it just went crazy. It was, bro.
I was in one of them, and I remember I texted you about the certain somebody.
Yeah,
I was in one of them because that was y'all's, you and Cole, John, and I was sitting here like, yo. These guys don't know what the hell they talking about. They really don't.
They just want to argue. That's how they want.
Debating is cool, but when you don't know what you're talking about, like it's bad.
No, when we're debating and then I'm questioning, what are you? What was the? And I'm in the back and I've been listening. I'm not arguing. I'm listening. And I'm like, what was the basis of this argument? Are they? Because I heard arguments about Daniel Jones and Sam Howell and Patrick Mahomes. Like, what are we doing? Why is Sam Howell and Patrick Mahomes in any of the same sentences? Any of them. Like, it don't make no sense.
But they both quarterbacks in the NFL. That's about it.
That's it. And they both have. Half and half.
They're both Milanos.
Yeah. Both Milano. So, I mean, that's the only two things they got in common. Other than that, Sam Howell won one game.
Let's be honest. Let's be realistic.
Oh, yeah,
that's definitely the true. Eagles.
That's definitely true. When they lose,
the Eagles
talking about you.
Yeah, you got the Eagles and the Cowboys in the NFC East. We don't really care about the other two teams.
We don't
really care about the other two teams.
About the Commanders. If they wasn't so hype on their team and they actually was like, let's build, let's move forward, I would have more respect for them. But y'all telling me Sam Howell finna come out here next year, 1-0 so far, ain't gonna win the MVP, and y'all going 13 wins. Like, come on, bro, stop it, please. Be realistic. Nah, if a Cowboy fan told me that, it seems like it's likely. Y'all was 12-5 last year, 13-4 ain't that far away. But for a commander who could barely make the playoffs to come tell me you finna be first seed, you finna take us out all this, come on, bro, stop it. Stop.
Not the toy not the toy soldiers that basically are complaining about Eric B and how aggressive he is.
Oh, no, wait. Ron Rivera came back and now he looks like an idiot because now Ron Rivera came up, I'm sorry, I put my foot in my mouth. I need to apologize. What I said the other day was not exactly what was said. Bruh, listen. We know how media works.
Ain't going nowhere.
We know how establishments work, organizations work. They told you get your behind up there and recant, or we gonna put this foot with the boot on it on your ass out the door. How you want to do?
Yeah, he gonna be he on a hot seat too. Like Ron Rivera been fired before.
Bro. He got 5 weeks. DV.
Yeah, Bo about to get turned.
Listen to what I'm telling you. He got 5 weeks.
Eric B gonna be the interim.
If that boy ain't 3-2 in 5 weeks, and he 1-4 or 2-3, they're gonna be giving that boy walking papers.
They're gonna be like, yo, bro, what you about to do? Cause you're not getting back on the bus, bro.
Hey, you know how the black people do you? Hey man, what you about to get into, bro? You sitting at the house, man, I ain't finna do nothing. Right. Well, I'm finna go ahead and take me a little nap. That's how they go. Well, they're gonna be like, oh, so I'm fired? Pretty much. I ain't want to tell you like that, but since you asked in that manner, yeah, you fired.
That's why they brought EB in, bro. See, my thing, like, yo, dog, like we just lost our like third straight game. Yeah, that's crazy. So, yeah, yo, what you about to do though? Like, because you're not coming back in this locker room, bro.
They gonna
Just like we did Jonathan Gannon.
Them. Leave him.
Just like we did him.
Leave him out there somewhere. Hey, find you a job.
He was up there. He was up there with a duffel bag. He was about to get on a plane. Howie Roseman said, "No, bro, you got an interview. You got an interview with the Cardinals. We set that up for you.
Hold
Go
on,
ahead, do your thing."
Talk though. Do you think that's a true story? Now that we know Jonathan Gannon knew he was hired after the NFC Championship game, did we really leave him in Arizona, or did he leave us in Arizona?
I think it could be 50-50. It could be 50-50. Like,
he was finna head home, and then they got into it, and then he was like, "You know what? I'm gonna stay in Arizona anyways because I got an interview tomorrow."
No, it ain't about that. It ain't about that. No. It's more so that, I think the emotions was at the Super Bowl, and I think that us as an organization just basically like, look, do what you're gonna do. But we didn't expect Shane Steichen. I don't think so. But Jonathan Gannon, we did expect it. So that's why I said it could be 50-50.
Appreciate that, Ash. You know what I'm saying? We try to, we trying to do something, man, to keep the brand going, man. We trying to elevate, you know what I'm saying? Never perpetrate, We ain't cowboys, so we try to keep our head above water, keep shit smooth, man.
Yeah. Hey, Gene, we gave him a bus fare. We was like, yo, go ahead.
That nigga didn't get no bus fare. They ain't get no bus fare. We told him he had to call his own Uber. We ain't giving you nothing. You blew that.
But
you blew that. Go sit down.
Overall, man, going back to this upcoming Saturday, man, I think that, we should allow the starters to, get a groove with one drive, let that go on, and then after that, let the people that's fighting to be on a part of that 53-man roster, let them go to work. I don't think that we should, have the starters, play more than one drive, especially the first preseason. Now the third one, yeah, you want to have them at least close to a half, just see where they at, and then we go into the season. But no, you don't want them to play more than one drive. I do want to see the linebackers. I do want to see the safeties. I do want to see our backup, Marcus Mariota. I do want to see Sean Desai's play calling, what Eric B's going to do. I want to see all those guys. Cold Cowboys, leave me alone, bro. Unless you want to come on here. Leave me alone, bro.
Listen, I got a round table with him Saturday. Me and him right now.
Y'all don't invite me to nothing, bro.
What you mean? It's a Commander and a Giants and Cowboys Eagle. It's a round table.
It's a round table.
Yeah, you can take my spot if you want. I can just produce. I can sit in the background.
No, dog, you ain't gonna Swiss beats us, dog. Like, look, I'm gonna be in the comments and I'm gonna be talking my ish, and y'all just post up my comments.
But what we need though, we need a 4-player Eagles round table though. We got one.
Oh,
we need another one. We can use if bruh come back, we ain't gonna say no names, but if bruh come back, we could reach out to him whenever he ready to start doing content. And then bruh that was just with us, and that'd be a nice little round table. Is you lost?
Yeah. We had a couple people on, bro.
No. The person we just had on, not Marcus. Marcus got his own thing going on. I'm talking about Hotta. And then the person I asked you about the other day, how he doing, and you said he wasn't ready to come back yet. So when he come back, or or Weezy, Weezy said he in too. Now, hey.
No, what I'm saying is that person that we're talking about, he wants to, gradually build his channel back up because he's been going for a minute. So, I'm allowing him to do that, and then, we could will him back, into what we doing.
We really could do 5, man. I don't care how many of us it is. I mean, I ain't trying to birds of Broad Street it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, hell no, man.
I don't mind bringing in a couple guys and just having some Eagle talk, man. We got a long season to go. You know what I'm saying? It's good to have different
Cowboys. See what Cole's Cowboys, he's trying to lurk to the point where he knows that he's going to say something to piss me off, and then he can laugh at it.
Cole,
That's what
hold
he
on.
wants
Are
to
you
do.
telling him to pop on Saturday?
No, Saturday I got stuff to do.
Oh,
I'm just joking.
It's gonna be
got
nighttime
stuff to
though.
do.
What time you doing night? What time you doing? I mean, it's gonna be probably during the game.
Well, my cousin, no, I know, but my cousin, we're having a birthday party / we're gonna be watching the game over his house. So I ain't even gonna be in the crib.
Okay.
I ain't even gonna be in the crib, but yeah, I'm gonna still be, watching y'all commenting because Cole's gonna say some outlandish stuff, man. You already know. And then any Commanders fan that talk, I don't like them. Even the dude that sound like he hurdle pigs. What's his name? Big Simple. Even him,
Simple.
I don't like him. But that's
I ain't
my
got
bro.
him
But I
on.
don't
We ain't
like
bring him back. We ain't bring him. I got a new Commander fan.
not the one that sit up there and be talking to herself.
No,
not her.
You know I ain't got. Come on now. Awesomeness is a troll. We don't even. She don't do content. I got somebody though. I got somebody competent to do this. To do this series. Like I like Big Simple. Like Big Simple, cool people.
Like when she on the screen, bro. When she on the screen, I look up WebMD. I look up WebMD to try to see what the symptoms.
Bro. She want to make you mad, low key. Watch anything she posts ever. She always like picking on somebody. Like she just wants to make you pissed off.
I don't even follow her. I don't.
But Big Simple,
I don't follow her.
Big Simple is listen. He's a half and half type fan. He'll agree with you, and then he'll be like, Sam Howell gonna be MVP.
See, Big Simple. If I was in like Washington, and he was there with all that, and he was tailgating and he was cooking out, I would rock with Big Simple because I think he could cook out. But besides that, I'm not messing with him, bro.
I told you, look, he a 50-50 fan. Right now, me and you have a conversation. Big Simple, he gonna agree with us. Then in 5 minutes, he gonna pop back on and be like, Sam Howell gonna be MVP. We going 13-4.
Bro, that's what I'm saying to you. But that's what I'm saying to you about Cole's Cowboys. That's what he do. He sit up there with us. He'll sit up there and be like, yeah, play that 50-50 thing. And then soon as he got reinforcements, that's when he want to start,
hitting us across the head.
Playing big dog.
Oh, he think
playing big dog.
He think he buddy with the chip. He think he buddy from the Montgomery, Alabama with the chip.
Exactly, bro. As soon as he throw up his hat. As soon as he throw up that black hat, here come the Cowboys. The Boss Cowboys coming, J Tuck coming, all those guys coming now.
Huh? I don't respond. I don't talk to them dudes. Them dudes weird.
I don't care about none of them.
The only person I talk to as a Cowboy fan is probably Coles, bro.
No, I talked to a couple. I talked to Coles, of course.
I mean, outside of my family, but on the app,
my other guy that be going back and forth for me on Twitter or X, I should say. But
Darlene, she's a loyal subscriber. I go back and forth with Darlene.
No, Darlene be like, look, I'll be thinking Darlene is from like I don't know how familiar you are with Philadelphia, but she's one of those Kensington people that I don't really bang with because she be talking some. I don't pay her no mind.
She loyal. She be in the comments. I argue with her just to keep her coming back. If you gonna keep coming, good. We'll take an hour and a half of your watch. We'll take an hour of your watch hours every week if that's what you want to give us.
We would, but at the same time, like, look, I'm not gonna pay that no mind because the people came to see us, man. They in the comments, and if they in the comments argue with her, then I'll let them deal with it.
DV, you can't understand what she say, anyways. I mean, you can't really argue with her. You really can't argue.
First of all, no, listen to me. When I'm on here, I'm drinking. I ain't got time to sit up there and try to figure out what she's saying. I don't.
I ain't gonna lie. I'm with the tomfoolery. I be right on Darlene's tail. As soon as she come through, I see that first comment. I be like, listen. As long as you pay, if you notice, look, DV, if you pay attention, she stay longer. As soon as we stop talking to Darlene disappears. She be mad. Oh, they ain't giving me no attention. I'm gonna make you mad. I'm gonna make your sentences more unreadable than they was when you first got in here because I'm gonna piss you off,
bro. She comments like Boomhauer from King of the Hill, bro. She don't know what the hell she's saying, bro, but she's saying something.
This man said Boomhauer. That's wild.
Bro, like Seriously, it's ridiculous. That's why I don't entertain it. I don't sit it. Y'all listen it up, Darlene. What are you talking about? I don't even care what Shruti said.
Bro, y'all
I don't
come get DV, bro. This man said, "Boo, I'm king of the hill."
You want to see her and crack up because you're gonna remember what I just said. Seriously,
No, I
bro.
already thought she was retarded. Sometimes when she be writing, it just be like, Darlene, what school did you go to?
Toilet paper, man. What's going on, bro? Thank you for posting my stuff up on Bleacher Report. Thank you for that.
Toilet paper, man. Appreciate you for helping my dog go viral.
MC1, I appreciate you, bro.
Bruh, Ash.
Yeah, Boomhauer, Miss Ash.
Wild, bruh.
Yo, like, come on, man. Like
This
I told y'all,
as soon as I
hit 100,
fire, bruh. Bro, somebody come take this.
No. Can we? Hey, bro, can we talk about what happened on Birds of Broad Street with that one guy that you and Rock was laughing about?
Oh, you were laughing? You didn't turn off your camera and laugh? Don't make me go get the clip.
Huh?
I'll go clip it right now.
No, I didn't though.
Oh,
I did because he said, this is what he said. This is what he said. He said, yo, bro, we need to blitz more because Jonathan Gannon didn't blitz, so we need to blitz more. I said, yo, I don't even want to hear that shit.
Now, you know you had a bad impersonation of what that man said. Now, do I need to reiterate? I'll reiterate it. He said, we need to blitz more because Jonathan Gannon didn't blitz.
Hey, yo, I had to cut the camera off, and Rock started laughing, so I definitely cut the camera off. And then you text me. I said, "Yo."
No, I text you. I said, "Bro, you dead wrong for turning that camera off."
Soon as Prince started talking, I said, "Yo, I'm cutting it back off." And then I'm like, "This now, y'all cracking up." And I'm like, "Yo, man."
Though.
Like,
it wasn't because he stuttered. It caught me off guard. Like when I seen him down there, he hadn't talked for a minute. So I'm expecting him to come in and just like flow in the conversation. And then I was just like,
no, because let's be honest. I know a lot of content creators, they blow. So he looked like he was like on like when
you think he was so high he couldn't get his words out?
When Cool Cat asked him his question, he had that high smile. You know the high smile. Yo.
He took a minute to answer too.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying, bro. I thought he was frozen. I thought his Wi-Fi was messed up. I don't know what he had. Cricket, T-Mobile. I don't know what's going on. I just think
I told you what we both thought. We thought the same thing, DV. We were sitting there. We seen him highlight that. We was like, okay, he finna come in. He finna just go to, and then he just like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And then it's like it wasn't no better because everybody was just like staring at the man camera, the man little box on the laptop. They're like, oh,
right.
Shit, what's going on?
I said, you know what? I'm gonna just because I was gonna laugh like I just laughed a few moments ago. The ugly face laugh. I was gonna do that, so I had to get off the screen because I'm like, yo, why is bro on here?
I did my best.
But it's Cool Cat. It's Cool Cat thing, man. It's Cool Cat thing.
Hey, listen, DV. I did my best to do like this here and try to get it all out. But boy, everybody was.
But Rock made me laugh even more because he started laughing.
He didn't even move.
And I was like, yo, I can't go back on now. Then when Prince started talking, I said, all right, I gotta get it together. I gotta get it together because Prince be knowing what he be talking about half of the time. So I was like, yeah, let me get it together. And the Bulls is still sitting there smiling, and I'm like, yo,
you was going through something that night, boy. That was a good one for you, boy. No cap. No cap. It was perfect timing, dog. Yeah, Cool Cat is a nice guy. Cool Cat, the nicest guy
he
ever
is,
met.
man.
He's too nice.
Yeah, and that's the thing. He is too nice. To the point where
that don't want enemies, he want all friends, but he don't.
Man.
He has enemies, but he'll still be friends with those guys just to make it cordial. He don't want that type of beef. He just rather keep everything here even. hey, how you doing? He polite. He if you talk to him, he'll talk back. You want to come on the show, he'll get you on. Like Cool Cat, probably one of the most nicest guys in history. But people in this world,
because that dude wouldn't have been on Inside the Nest. He wouldn't have been on Inside the Nest. As soon as he would have been like, yeah, let's kick him off real quick.
He said I'm airing.
He wouldn't have been on.
He said, "Damn, you aired it out tonight." Not me. Hey, listen, I'm chilling, but nah, Cool Cat, man. If it wasn't for Cool Cat with me, no Birds of Broad Street, man. Like he putting everybody on. But
yeah, he is.
It's a time and a place where you gotta slap him in the mouth. And I don't think Cool Cat would do that. Cool Cat would probably just be like, "Hey, man, can we solve this in a better situation?"
I'm gonna talk to Cool Cat, and I need to be his angry translator. That's basically what it has to be. I gotta be the angry translator of what he wants to say.
Oh, Cole, it was a guy came on the Birds of Broad Street, and he was not able to communicate in the proper manners, and it made everybody on the panel laugh. And that's what we was talking about.
And I agree, Toilet Paper, that we did get younger, and I think that with more experience, with years to come, we're gonna be crazy. We're gonna be crazy, man. But yeah, it starts this year, this season, no doubt. And moving forward, I think that we only gonna get better, especially if Howie sign another extension. We gonna keep this thing rolling as long as we can. Period. So I agree with that. But back to the matter at hand, I wouldn't have had the ball on Inside the Nest, bro. I wouldn't have.
I don't think I'd have been like, know him. Y'all see him before? I don't know him. I never seen him before.
I never seen the bull before in my life.
So maybe Cool Cat didn't know him. It was a call. It was a call.
Yeah, they just be like, yo, you on, and that's what happened, man. Yo, them call-in show was wild, man. You gotta watch who you like. Hey, man, people don't be having all their medicine.
You see it? Anybody can see it?
What happened?
NFC East Roundtable War Room.
Wow.
The foolishness is probably going down in that room.
Yeah, it is, and I know it is. But again, back to what somebody said, it'd be ghetto as hell because you got people saying the wrong things in there and they the wrong color. You got people in there just saying.
It wasn't this Monday. It was last Monday, right?
When that happened?
Yeah, last Monday. Not the Monday that just passed. The Monday before.
I forgot. Bro gonna say, yo, I forgot. I forgot where I was.
Cole. I need that again. Ooh,
right. What'd he say? Hey, yo. Hey, bro. Did you just say yes like a sassy joke?
Who?
Did you say yes, Cole? Did you say that?
I said yes.
I ain't hear you. I hear you right. Come on, wait a minute. What's going on? Maybe one drive. Yeah, maybe one drive.
One drive.
That's what we were saying. One drive. That's it. Now, the third preseason game, yeah, we need them on there at least, close to a half.
I don't know. Swift
you think Swift gonna play?
You think so?
Swift gonna play.
I'm trying to figure out if we play any starters. If we play starters, then he play. But if we don't, then he won't. You think we playing starters this game? We played them the first game last time, right?
Is it another practice before Saturday?
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah. So it depends on what they do before the preseason game. I think so.
Jigga, chill out.
What happened?
He said nobody saved. Chill out, bro. Hey, but man, we've been on here 2 hours and 48 minutes, man. It's time now.
I appreciate everybody. I appreciate everybody rocking with us, man.
I'm on
Salute to all of y'all.
Sound like shit, man. I'm on here sweating. I done took 2 shots of this gin. I'm gonna go drink me some hot tea and do some hair, guy.
Well, you a grown man. Like you grown. Like gin? Oh no, I'm good with that. Yeah,
bro,
I'm gonna stick to my bro.
Hold on, listen. I only take shots of gin sick, bro. I need to clear that shit out, man.
Yeah, man.
What happened to? I don't know what happened to Miles Jack. Y'all gonna have to go figure that out. Cause, hey, Inside the Nest has been a great one. This
We about to hop on the Twitter Spaces. That's basically long story short. And that's what's about to happen.
listen, gin. When I'm sick, I go get gin, and I take the gin with some hot tea and some honey. You know what I'm saying?
Gin
So
make
when
you
I go,
talk like
see, look what I
Gin
do.
make you.
I bundle up, bro.
You gonna start talking like Weezy Jefferson?
No,
You gonna be
man.
like George,
I put
like
on
because you
pants.
drinking gin.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk like that.
I'm messing with you.
Nah, but look, I bundle up, and the gin make you sweat, so it'll try to get that cold out. Like today, I was soaked at work, like killing it. Oh yeah, that live practice stream.
Yeah.
You know, we in rotation, man. You know, King Dv and Smitty, man, we in rotation, man.
But look, we about to get out of here, man. I appreciate everybody for joining, man. I gotta get something to eat, feed this liquor, and I'm gonna get on these spaces, listen to this BS that people will go be talking.
Text me what kind you got, man. I might go grab me a little bit what you got.
Oh, I'm drinking Crown right now.
You switched?
Yeah, like come on, bro. I'm grown, man.
You did what? We ain't gonna talk about it, y'all. Nah, this is gonna keep us here another 10 minutes. But
yeah, it is.
You wild, bro. I know
Look,
you
man.
sweating under that hat. I know it's sweat.
I promise you I'm not. I got the air conditioner right here, bro.
I got the AC right here, but when I be on that thing, what these things yeah.
Look, man, I don't know what you got going down there, but look, up here ain't that hot of weather like down there. So, but look, man, until next time, y'all.
Love,
look, it's been
peace,
real.
and hair grease.
All right, bro. All right. Play the music, bro.
You know what time it is, man.
But to tell me I came out with DeAndre Swift over Bijan,
Jordan Davis, just still play the same.